Our group must have entered the room.
All right. Welcome to our next session of Anterra, brought to you by the Runtime Initiative.
Woo!
At our first session 2 weeks ago, excuse our absence, we had a sick pupper. And by pupper, I mean like a human being that's in the room with us. Yep. Fully never didn't have it. In session 1, the 4 of you found yourselves crossing paths at an inn and tavern in the city of Darkhold called the Crossroads, run by a friendly half-dwarven fellow by the name of Rorik. You settled in for a relaxed evening after days or weeks on the road, depending on which duo you were a part of. As the evening progressed, you met some friendly folk. Radrin, a female member of the Grim Hunt, and Torque, a dwarf who they seem to work together with the Grim Hunt. After some banter and a few drinks, a bit of gambling, and relaxing your first evening in Darkhold away, you became aware of an intruder within Darkhold's walls. Looking out, you saw a shadowy figure heading up towards the keep, flanked by several other impossibly dark, shadowy creatures that flanked it as it headed towards the fort. And from the other direction, you encountered a large number of undead creatures, zombies, who had wandered through the Darkhold's southernmost gate, presumably following the shadowed figure into the fort. You fought your way through the horde. Kurin ran behind several buildings and snuck to the gate, and was able to close it to stymie the flow of undead creatures into the city. After a long time hacking your way through the horde, some of the other soldiers, in the barracks that were being intruded upon by the zombies, emerged and helped you clean up the last of the undead that were in the city streets. But from the keep, the shadowed figure emerged again. You saw a great flash of green light, and dozens of soldiers wiped out in an instant. Radrin attempted to make a stand against this dark mage, firing a lightning bolt at it before being seemingly struck down herself. You briefly debated making a break for it, just leaving Darkhold altogether, which was a possibility I distinctly had planned for when I made session 1. Absolutely, that was part of the plan.
We're not traumatized. You're traumatized.
Right. PTSD is real.
The Abyss was a scary place.
Yeah. Caleb also suspected that it might be because you guys are all playing Elden Ring too, and sometimes you find a boss that you just need to run away from because you just can't beat it.
Not if you're stubborn enough.
Not me.
Fair.
Not me.
I
It'll
find
be
a
6
ranged
hours.
weapon, and that's what happens.
No, it'll be 6 hours later. It doesn't matter if I'm on
I
your
wasn't
level.
sure that we could dodge as well as you can in Elden Ring. You
He
just have to
can.
use the dodge action.
Eventually.
For 1
After
minute.
5 hours, I can, baby.
But anyhow, after downing Rager and Torque, pursued the mage and continued firing spells off at him. Soldiers on the fort's walls turned their barrage of arrows in the direction of the mage, who, with an exasperated huff, raised a few more undead on the way out, and then disappeared from the courtyard.
Lit him on fire. It's awesome.
So,
It's awesome.
we pick up in the aftermath of your encounter. At this point, Rorik has retreated back into the inn. A little worse for the wear. For a civilian, he held his own pretty good, but he's looking a little beat. As are a few of you, if I recall correctly.
You said Radrin?
Rorik.
Rorik.
Getting my,
Uh,
my wounds.
Who's Rorik?
Rorik is the crossroads owner, the half dwarf. Radrin is the Grimhunt girl. Rorik was the
Yep.
big one with the axe when we were doing it last time.
Yep, that's also what my notes
Can we
say.
bump the music? Lance said it's.
I mean, admittedly, it's a pretty quiet song, but yeah. So, you are in the streets of Darkhold. It's still the dead of night, but mostly quiet again.
All right, so I don't think we have to run now, at the very least.
What? I think you might be right.
Things seem to be more under control. The soldiers are taking out the last of the undead. Gates are closed.
How are you all looking? I'm doing all right.
I'm wonderful.
Better than Radrin.
Anybody need anything specific?
Which,
Hmm?
can I go? We go? Well, I would like to go over and see if Radrin's all right, or if she's
Sure.
straight up dead.
Yeah, so, Torque was working his way towards the mage as they finally disappeared. The hail of arrows and Torque's flaming blades carved through the few undead that they had raised on their way out. And at this point, you see the flame of the swords doused, and he gets down on his knees next to Radrin and is examining her. And yeah, do you want to go make a medicine check yourself, or?
I mean, I'll run over and just like, is she all right? Or did things get the best of her?
She's still breathing, but barely. It's faint. I don't.
All right.
She looks very, her visage looks very drained and almost gaunt right now relative to the person that you were just in the tavern with not all that long ago.
Did you already try healing magics, or
I don't.
allow me? If that's all right.
Please, yes, please.
I'll put a hand on her and say, "Rise again, favorite of Rahenna, for your fate does not end here," and see if it helps any.
So that's
That's all the cure light ones.
cure light wounds. Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead and roll for that.
Yeah, this was
4, I think. 1d8 plus your modifier,
a
right?
green grind.
1d8 plus mod.
Yeah, so that's
One
4.
flame grind.
4.
Oh, wait, no, it's level, isn't it?
It lit up.
Hold
She
on.
did shoot lightning.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you're right.
Go wrong.
So it'll be 6.
6. Okay. All right. Radrin, unconscious. You watch the gauntness in her face disappear, and she breathes more deeply and opens her eyes again. Where are they? Where did they go?
I'll let Torque answer because I want to call over Ralos, or no, Fabian. And Fabian, I don't know if our other friend here is dead or not, but maybe you could take a look.
Yeah, I can certainly check.
Who are you looking for?
The gnome.
So if you go and look a little further up, it's not the only withered or corpse up there at this point, but you do find this husk of what was previously a gnome that, contrary to Radrin barely being alive, is very much dead.
Like, is he like eviscerated? Is it that all of like the belongings are completely destroyed? So checking for cause of death.
Sure. Make an Arcana check or a Medicine check.
12.
What kind of roll?
Medicine.
Medicine check. So yes, Orem is very, very much deceased. It looks as though just all the life and everything was just drained from this body. It's not just dead. It's almost it's withered. It almost looks almost like thinking about like desiccating in a way.
This is a gnome. You said small. Even I should be able to pick up a like drained gnome then probably and like physically carry. So I'll pick him up and start to bring him back towards the rest of the gathered group. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I think that one might be a little too far gone.
I would agree. I've seen magic do some incredible things, but even this, I wouldn't hold out hope.
I'm just standing back and just looking around, not particularly invested. All the people I was talking to seem to be fine.
Fair enough.
As long as these three are doing okay, I'd probably be just like helping to shoot down some of the remaining like undead or clearing out the barracks in case there were any left in there.
Okay. Yeah. So initially, you've sort of joined the final barrage from the walls of the fort, and take out a few more straggler undead from the courtyard and in front of the fort.
I would like to meander over kind of where the person that we saw disappear, like however they disappeared, teleport, whatever. Just go over and see like if there's anything that's like any sign of like what kind of magic they were using, like when it's obviously some kind of necromancy, but like try to get some kind of understanding of did they go far or was this just like a quick escape?
Gotcha.
It might be beyond my abilities, but it's fine.
Yeah, there wouldn't be anything left behind that would let you necessarily discern the magic they used to escape and leave.
Okay.
You could more closely investigate the remains of some of the undead potentially, or anything else. But...
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just meandering
It's
along.
like, are they close enough? Can I run them down? Did they just dimension door?
No,
I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get
I don't know that spell.
them.
Or do
Or do I?
That's the joke. He's 12th level already.
Just have to sandbag every.
What are you doing? I'm casting Expeditious Retreat again so they don't get mad. But the commotion after not too long calms. More and more torches are lit, including sort of lights in the street. The light drizzle of rain continues, but not enough to douse the torches. As the so Torque is staying by Radrin's side. He helps her up and sort of arm over the shoulder, which is pretty easy to do because he's a dwarf. And he's like, "All right, let's get you back inside." And he starts walking her towards the crossroads. Mm-hmm.
I'd be,
I'll follow him in.
yeah, I'd be curious what they have to say about
Sure.
what just happened.
I thought they'd be heading back towards their headquarters, but
Thought the same.
sounds like we could get an early scoop.
Absolutely.
I mean, what better time for a drink than after a fight like that?
You do also see, once she stands up, Radron also casts a spell on herself, and just a lot more of the brightness and light comes back to her face. And she is able to do some kind of healing on her own as well.
No way. She
Not
can't
allowed.
possibly. She cast lightning bolt. She can't do healing things too. That's against the rules.
She took a feat. She's a variant healer.
Dang it.
As we walk into the tavern, the guards just kind of sitting down at tables and like, are they going up to the bar? Drinks being passed around and stuff.
Actually, if you come over carrying the withered remains of Orym, before they head over, Torque just remarks, "Drunken bastard."
I really wish I had taken him home now. Not that he probably would have gone anyway, but
You know, incredible stories have been told of drunken bastards in the past, dying in bravery. Perhaps he'll be one of them.
I hope so.
For all we know,
I struggle
Yes,
to keep my mouth
maybe.
shut.
Maybe.
for all we know, he was instrumental to the defense of this town.
Yeah, yep. He certainly ran toward them. Tried to fight him.
But it's valuable
That
time.
he did.
And we lost sight of him as his valiant efforts went beyond our comprehension.
Beyond our sight. Yes.
Or perhaps we should drink to him and feel as though it's what he would have wanted.
Absolutely.
It's such a
Let's
well
drink
done.
towards righteous stupidity.
Yes. Well, sure. Let's get around.
Unabashed bravery.
Righteous stupidity.
Your phrasing is important. We'll
I agree.
discuss that.
Strongly agree.
Bravery and stupidity are neighbors anyway.
Where should this hero of the town be kept? I'm not saying this sarcastically. For the
No,
record.
no.
I would
got
like
you.
this. I would like to give the town some level of encouragement after they were just destroyed.
He just points over to the dumpster.
I'm sure I put him
Just right up there. It's like, oh, you know, this happens.
Here.
It's just a
Is
Tuesday.
he compostable?
Trash pickup's tomorrow, so this is actually a great time.
Bring out.
Oh, no, it's not called. Listen, it's not called Happy Hold. It's called Dark Hold.
Happy something home.
Um,
It's time for some rebranding.
Yeah. So no, as you're holding the husk, it's quite frankly, it's kind of gross.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
it's
for sure.
not a pleasant sight or anything else. You just put him in the square over there. There's you see some of the soldiers already sort of they're already piling the bodies of undead, just like literally in a ragtag pile. Yeah. So yeah, and it's not. You all have lived in close enough proximity to Darkhold that it's the existence or presence of undead is not
Right.
not shocking or unheard of, and to dispose of the bodies in that way, I don't know what's happening.
It's all good.
It's okay.
We're deciding which bar snacks to get at the tavern.
Oh,
Uh,
pretzel.
Oh,
Shep, I
God.
grabbed a pencil.
I also grabbed a
I was
pencil.
like, this is reasonable, but also
Not what you wanted.
It's good. Um,
Not a pair of shoes, a
As
pair
I-
of shoes.
as I take him over to the town center, is there any was he wearing any kind of jewelry or a pin that would
I'm not trying to steal her. I will
He's been
specifically
trying
look for
to
some
look-
kind of keepsake or memento that
he would kept the
Jordan's trying to have a moment. You're not letting him.
trying to
I
honor
said-
this dude that died defending his
I
town.
can't
because of
help
one-
it. It seemed like from the beginning you were like, does he have anything on him? I'm like, what are you trying to loot this guy?
I will. Does he have a necklace on or anything like that?
No necklace. He is wearing a ring.
I will respectfully take it.
Well, it comes off the withered husk of his finger fairly easily.
Very reasonable. And I will take care to set the body not in the pile of undead, maybe near if there's some kind of a bench or a fountain.
Right. Well, yeah. No. So even the soldiers, they're bringing bodies out of the barracks. They're dragging zombies out of the barracks and also bringing some dead soldiers out as well. And they're sort of laying them in orderly fashion in the street, whereas they're piling up the zombies.
I'll do the same.
So, since Fabian seems to be paying special attention here, I'll use prestidigitation to try and to whatever extent clean him up a little bit. I mean, the body's a husk, but whatever little bit I can do.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the spilled booze on his robes, the smell of alcohol now goes away. It's just a little more stately of a presentation of this poor husk corpse.
Mm.
I'm gonna. I would be sort of standing, just outside the doorway, watching the procession happen for a little bit until you sort of set him down and take off his ring. Then I'm going to turn around, head back in, and walk over to Radrin and Torque.
Okay. And as you sort of watch that procession, the rest of the town, at this point, has heard the bell, has awoken. It's not just the soldiers at this point. And
What time of night is it?
probably pushing 2:00 in the morning at this point. So solidly night.
We rolled in light, brother.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. And so you see, halflings, gnomes, humans, elves, everything in between. Just the citizens of Darkhold. There's not a lot of them, but some of them are kids trying to sneak a peek at what that commotion is going on at the middle of the night. But then there's some other
Kids, this is not PG.
no, not in the slightest. But some of the other civilians sort of joined the cleanup efforts and try and figure out what's happened. And suddenly, the crossroads is also a bit bustling, as people are trying to figure out what happened. So when you return to the crossroads, busier than when you first entered earlier in the night. Radrin and Torque are back at their same booth, having just finished a drink, and as you enter, they get up almost as if to leave.
I'm gonna sort of so if they're starting to get up, I'm gonna position myself just in front of them enough to make it clear that I'm I want to talk to them, and I'm not trying to
Sure. Yeah.
force them to stay here, but just you know make it awkward if they were to walk past me.
Kurin, thank you. Torque told me that you went and closed the gate. appreciate you risking your life like that.
Funny thing to see a gate open at night at a fortress like this.
And I don't remember if we touched on it at the time, but when you got to that gate, there were 4 guards that were posted that were similarly husked, as if sort of the life had been drained out of them.
Sure. Okay. I still say that.
Sure. It certainly weren't no accident. Torque chimes in, and but we now that she's all right, we need to be going and getting in touch with Alina. We need to see what happened up at the keep. Alina.
Thank you.
Yep.
Really normal spelling.
She's
It's
the.
like he says a new name and like
Welcome to Anterra.
everyone just like grabs a pencil.
All right, everybody, grab your pretzels. Let's get to writing.
Have we heard that name before? Is she like the leader?
I don't remember if you've heard that name before, but she is at least the de facto leader of the Grim Hunt. We need to go and speak with Alina and see what the casualties were up at the keep and see what the damage was. I'm sure the captain will have plenty to say to us as well.
We should make sure that the town's secure. I understand wanting to get information, but that person came in and left easy as could be. If they want to come back, do we know what they were after? Radrin, you went after him, didn't you?
I tried to. Or they, some kind of powerful mage. I don't know what they wanted. It's clearly it was something up in the keep.
Do you know if they got it?
That's why we're going to go speak to Alina.
All right.
You're welcome to join if you'd like. You certainly have earned that much at least.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll follow behind them, and as I go, whoever. Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
if
what-
Kier is free, I would make sure to grab him, and if I run past you two, I would like mention it. But
I would be coming in to talk to those two as well, as you're probably coming in. So I will likely bring into you.
What would you be doing, David?
I would have, after I set up the body where it needs to be, I'm just kind of twirling the ring on my finger and pondering over it, heading back towards the tavern if that's where the rest of my.
Okay. And I kind of so in my brain I sort of abbreviated this, and if that's not the case, that's fine. But kind of imagined you guys heading back to the tavern at approximately the same time. So if you guys were present for that exchange and would just be following, that is totally fine, unless you have something else that you were trying to do.
Yeah, I have that too. As long as Caleb's.
yeah, I was thinking I'd gone in like specifically earlier because you were still like setting up.
Yeah, that's
the
I
body.
figured I'd
Okay.
kind of like
It's
bump
not-
into you on the way out. Like I'm
Yeah.
following you after that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was there a little earlier, I would have liked to ask them as well, if that's okay. But I wanted to ask if did Oren have any family in town, or did he just sort of live by himself?
Oren was the mage assigned to us out of Darkhold, or assigned to the garrison.
The gnome was a mage? Wait, I'm confused.
Oren, the gnome. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Well,
Yeah.
interesting strategy.
How nice is this ring looking?
Make a history check.
Yeah.
So then he probably had a family.
How was his name spelled?
ORRYN.
Damn it!
Because of course.
You had to tell me not to fix it.
19.
19. Yeah, you would recognize the crest or sigil on this ring as that of the academy at Oxguard, which is well known to be sort of the one of, if not the preeminent mage academies on the continent.
What was the name of it?
Oxguard, OX, and then guard, but without a U and with an E at the end.
Yes, that's exactly what. Not that I knew anything about this place because this wasn't my knowledge check. But
Notes about things you don't really know? I don't believe it.
never done before. History of D&D.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So after Kurin talks to Torque and Radrin, basically the three of you converge on the entrance of the crossroads just as the three of them emerge.
They're gonna go talk to their leader, Elena. Said we can join if we want.
Be ashamed to leave this story unfinished.
I'd be
Also, go get
curious.
sleep. It's getting late. It's been a long day.
What's another hour? We're already up.
Yeah, just
You-
an hour, sure.
Torque chimes in. Just, you don't have to come now. If you need to rest, that's fine. We're certainly not going to disappear.
I'm good.
Probably not going to disappear. I don't know.
I'm gonna eye up Radrin specifically, whoever went invisible during that fight, and be like,
All right, touche. Yeah, I should have phrased that differently, but fair enough.
Fool us once, shame on us.
"It's us twice. Now we're an undead army."
Look, if you need to get some rest, that's fine. We'll still be here in the morning, and at that point, we might have an idea of what they were after and what the casualties were.
Anymore, I'm more used to 3 hours of sleep than 8.
I could sleep. Ralos, I'll stick with whatever you want to do. Are you interested in hearing the end of the story tonight, or would you prefer that?
I would say, let's hear it tonight.
I agree.
And I whisper over him, because by tomorrow they'll have their stories straight and not want to share everything.
I was thinking the same.
The suspicious nature might be a Lenny thing and not a Nero thing at this point. Trust no one.
I mean, he's right though.
I'll have the ring
People, listen, an organization, the night of, is gonna be like,
How are we gonna spin this in the morning?
yeah, they're like, oh, what happened? Everybody's being very raw about it. By the next day, they've got their PR ready. They're like, oh yeah,
There was an incident
yeah.
with some less living entities. They were taken care of.
These
That is
people
all.
just said, hey, you want to go talk to our leader without any effort? Yeah.
I'm gonna take the
Fair.
necklace
Of course.
off that I have, and without just essentially bring the chain, keeping.
Just hide it inside of your shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip the ring on the end of the chain,
Oh, okay.
and then refasten it.
Do we hear jangling?
Potentially.
I know about this.
How good are your ears? You do. Yeah. How good are your ears? Pretty good. Yeah.
The best ears. Though you would hear better if they weren't all sexily Lola
No,
bunnied
no.
on the back of your head. But
15.
15?
I don't know. It's up to you.
I mean,
You know the size of the ring and approximately the size of the other stuff that may or may not be there.
it's not making a super abnormal sound, right? You're wearing leather armor and carrying weapons. It's not.
I mean, yeah, it might be bumping into another charm. It might be bumping into a buckle. There's walking sounds, but
Yeah, you don't hear anything that's out of the ordinary, I guess.
How dare you wear jewelry?
Fabulous. I forgot to give this to you, but you get good old No, it's not. It's not for him. It's for you.
Oh, hey.
Because I asked people for to help refuel my
Oh, yeah.
list of NPC names,
Bruh.
and you're the one who actually gave me like a dozen names.
Yeah.
So
Completely forgot about that.
I was popping off. I was saying, I
To
sent
be
you.
fair, I haven't refilled my list of NPC names, so I wasn't going to help
Right.
yours.
fair.
I sent Kevin a handful, and then I was in line at Chipotle the other day, and I was like, this. I just fired off like I think 7 or something.
Love
We had
it.
an excellent exchange earlier about
Naming everybody after the Johnny Cilantro, Eddie Adobo, and Tommy Tortilla. Just like
That was excellent.
Pollo asada. APA.
double cheek in bowl. What's this? Oh, I get it now.
You get it now?
Stay. Stay, and the last name is like K apostrophe Sadia, Satiya. Stay quesadilla. And then chip inside a guac.
There was also
Inside a guac.
Yep.
there was also Takoria Tortilla Ron.
But that was determined to be the best actual name out of it potentially is Takoria. But now we've said it, so I can't use it without it turning into a thing. But
Unless
Just give it a
Listen,
year.
they
there will be
run a
some
food
guy-
they run a
I
food
was gonna
truck.
say there will be some guy who sells food at some point that will need a name, and Tacario is perfect.
That's
Brother
amazing.
Linguini. So
Amazing.
we're walking towards whatever the
So
barracks
you're
or-
walking, and you're walking, and you're
We're
walking.
going to meet the lead.
So you head out from the crossroads, walk up the road towards the fort,
Through the crossroads.
through the crossroads that is near the crossroads.
Crossing the crossroads.
And at this point, the whole, all of Darkhold is awake. There are, soldiers every which way you look. And you take a peek at the other two gates as you head up towards the keep, and you see, a good 10 to a dozen or so at each gate, and then several more.
I thought of something really funny. Except for the one guy who has the silence enchanted earmuffs that he puts on before bed so that he can sleep undisturbed throughout the night.
He was the first one to be attacked by one of the undead creatures.
Well, there's some silence
Let's
enchanted
say,
earmuffs
there's-
that I'm looking for in this city.
There's some loot to be grabbed now.
Oh, God.
Sorry, it's a luxury item you guys wouldn't know about.
But no, so you are led up into the fort. As you head through the gates, there's a few soldiers there that sort of, give you all a double take. But Radrian sort of coughs out there. They're with us. We're going to see Alina. I like that way, and gesture you towards the main stone structure inside the actual keep proper. You head through the main doors there, and you see as you enter, you see or actually, give me a round of perception checks.
Rolling.
Roll them up.
16.
I manifested this perception check. It was a 20!
18.
Bruh. I said 20 before I rolled 12 as a memer.
You did.
12.
Heard it.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you with those rules, you probably all notice though that there's a.
You noticed it first.
You notice
That's not how
it.
DCs work.
Sometimes it is.
Screw the DCs.
I can have you roll for whatever the hell I want. But no, you see a female dark elf that's sort of ordering people around in the courtyard, in similar armor to similar style of armor.
Don't grab my sword, don't grab my sword.
Similar style of armor to the rest of the soldiers here, but very clearly in charge or some sort of officer. But you head inside.
So she's the necromancer, right? We're all agreed.
So you head inside,
Over here so fast.
and
Teleport, dude.
Listen, we're scarred.
it's true.
We
It's
won't do
true.
it every time, but we will do it the first time.
And I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a reason that I was just like, no, let's just we gotta get this out of the way early.
Yep.
Because if I ever introduce like
An
a
important-
more interesting character, you're gonna be incredibly
if
suspicious.
Aelin was a dark elf, we'd be like, yeah, sure, you're helping clean up. Yeah.
So you head inside, and basically, there's several rooms. You go down a hallway, and you come to what looks sort of like a office study type room, but there's like a big, long stretch of table as well. Papers strewn about, and upon entering this room, you see a few individuals. One is a female, looks human, but it's a half elf. Wearing some some slightly heavier armor, has the symbol of the Grim Hunt sort of in the tunic worn over the armor. You surmise pretty quickly that this would be Alina. But Alina looks a little worse for the wear. She is not in great shape, though she is alive. She is standing near a younger male who is just beside himself. As you look over, there's two husky corpses in this room as well. Alina sees Torque and Radrin enter the room, and thank goodness the two of you are all right. Crane wasn't so lucky. Neither was the professor. The younger lad who is in here is just like beside himself in tears right now. What happened out in what happened out in the city? And Radrin responds, we saw the shadowed figure, but there was a gate had been breached and undead were spilling forth. These travelers, passersby, helped Torque get the gate closed and stop any more from getting in. Oren wasn't so lucky. He's gone. Alina's like they made it inside, and it seems they were after the professor here. Kareen had the misfortune of being in here along with the professor, and well, young Kirill here was in the privy. It seems to be the only reason he's alive. Do you have any idea what they were after besides the professor? I'm not sure. Haven't been able to get much of anything out of him. Gestures to the young lad. You helped close the gate. You have my deepest appreciation. and you know, she goes to move, and you sort of see her wince a bit, and you know, there's almost like this like black ichor type blood, you know, kind of spilling out of the ears a little bit, and a little bit at the side of the mouth. Yeah, this Alina did not have an easy go of it either.
What's the name of the kid that's crying?
Kirill?
Kirill,
Kirill.
Kiril.
I'm gonna make my way over to him.
Same.
And young man, are you hurt at all?
No, I'm fine.
Hey, calm down. And as I put my hand on his shoulder, I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Okay. Natural 19.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be a success. But
Don't calm down.
No! Just throws a
When
Muppet
he
style
does it-
fit.
When he doesn't seem to settle initially, I'll go over there and say, "What happened, son?"
I was going to the bathroom, and I heard a couple screams from down this way, and when I got out, I saw shadows in the hall, and Madame Alina there, they were fighting her, and when I got back in here, the professor was, and just gestures to one of the husks in the room.
Were you close to the professor?
He was my grandfather. He was Professor Ludo Varick. He was we had just returned from a research expedition into the Strinefell.
Well, that could very well be. I mean, I'm new here, but it could very well be the reason why he was sought after by these villains.
That would.
I don't suppose they took his research.
They took. Well, he still has some of his notes, but what they took was a few other. On the trip in, we found some ruins, and we found just a chunk of stone with lettering on it. They took that, and there was a glowing gemstone. It was some sort of magical. My grandfather was, no great mage, but he, had his tools, and he was confident that it was magical, but we didn't get a chance to figure out what it was before this.
Did you bring it back, or is it still there?
The gemstone?
Yeah, you said there was a tablet.
Yeah, so there was like a chunk of stone rubble with letters on it, and then also a magical gemstone.
Okay, and did he say if he brought one of those back?
They brought both of them back,
Okay.
and both were taken.
Okay.
Do you remember where in the Strinefell you were when you found these items?
I don't know. We had a guide. He gestures to the other husk.
It's all right.
It didn't feel complicated to get there, but I don't know that I certainly couldn't lead you back. And,
How old is this kid?
probably about the age of I don't know, somewhere in like 17 to 19. So like
Oh, okay.
almost an adult, but still young.
Okay.
Did you encounter any resistance in these rooms you were exploring, or was it just sort of vacant and for the taking?
There wasn't any. Well, there weren't any people, at least. There were a few creatures. Some we, hid and stayed still. Others, Crean was able to take down without much trouble. But we didn't see any other people at this city or at these ruins.
Who was Crane? Is he the guide?
Alina chimes in when you say who was Crean. Crean was a member of the Grim Hunt as well.
Was he the guide on the expedition to Strinfell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's that spelled?
Strinifel?
Crane.
Oh, Crean? Oh, Kreen.
Okay.
Must have been quite the discovery.
We weren't even sure what any of it was. We were just excited to find something, but
It's all right. I don't think that I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes. There's no way you could have known that it would lead to something like this. Do I believe that?
I was gonna fucking say it.
sure. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
$18.
18. It seems pretty genuine. This is a distraught teenager that just came back to their grandparent, a husk of a person.
Did you recognize the language of the tablet?
It wasn't. It was in common as far as we could tell, or at least the script was in common. There was 3 letters on it. It was a decent sized chunk of stone, just with the letters RKV. But we couldn't find the rest of it. We don't know what it is or what it means.
There could be so many things. The stories coming out of the Strinifel are endless.
And that's why my grandfather was he was studying it. That was what he was known for, and I was his research assistant. But
How long since you had gotten back?
we got back midday today.
Swift reaction.
Following on their heels.
Although,
You have to wonder why they waited till they got out of the Strinifel.
may have been pure chance.
Maybe
You
were
got
being
that.
trapped.
Fate has a way of mixing things up to look more complicated than they can be.
I think mages tend to rely on fate less than just less.
It's true.
So you've
Jordan in character trying to make excuses for things that seem like weak ass coincidences. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Sorry.
Do you have any idea of anybody who might want your grandfather dead, or be after his research, or be against the expedition?
No one in particular. I mean, he was a scholar. All he wanted to do was learn more about the region. I mean, the expedition was paid for by his university funds, and we got a guide, and no one seemed to object. Everyone knew it was dangerous, but we were just trying to learn.
What took you to this region in particular?
I mean, this is as good a place as any to launch an expedition into the Strinefell from, and this is where the Grim Hunt is, and this is we paid for a guide.
I meant where you found the stone tablet. What took you there?
That that beats me. I couldn't navigate in there to save my life. It was fog the whole time. I'm not even entirely convinced Crane knew which way we were heading half the time.
I turn towards Alina, if she's still around.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind me asking, what did this being look like? You must have got a closer look at them. Did they seem like they were from here or from the Strinefell, potentially?
I saw them, but they were cloaked and shrouded in some kind of this magical darkness surrounded them. I didn't get a good look. I think they were humanoid, but that's all I know. I ended up beset by the shadow creatures that accompanied them.
What of the shadow creatures? Denizens of the Strinefell?
She points out into the hallway, and if you peek your head around the corner, there's almost like a not corrosive, but this like faint black liquidy stuff that almost looks like it's like bubbling and evaporating. But no, Alina was able to take out the shadows.
Yeah, but what I was asking her was, did they seem like they were denizens of the Strinefell? Like, did they come from there?
They certainly might have. They seemed to be. Well, they were clearly working with the humanoid visitor. I'm not sure if they were created or summoned or just tamed, whatever you want to call it. It's you certainly wouldn't be out of the ordinary to find those sorts of shadow creatures in the Strinefell. But
I see. Not worth very much, but the individual did say, I think we heard them mutter, it's hardly worth my time, before they made their escape.
she kind of like has a puzzled look on her face and is just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's not worth my time. That was what he said. Pathetic to.
It was recent enough you would remember, but it was a woman's voice.
Yes, she seemed to deem this town with a lot of hearts beneath her efforts, and at the least, that's classless. Alina, were you familiar with the professor's research, or know any more than this young man might about someone who would have something against him?
I was familiar with it in passing. I mean, it's part of my role here is to, well, gather what knowledge we can on the creatures and the challenges we face within the Strinefell. It's not my first time meeting the professor. It's not even his first expedition into the Strinefell. Unfortunately, it was Kirill's first time, but
Is it common for him or any others to take these expeditions by charter with you guys?
Common, no. I would say Professor Varick was the most the most repeat customer, I guess. But given his line of research and inquiry, it certainly made sense. Fortunately, up until tonight, or at least the past expeditions have fortunately been relatively uneventful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, what race are Kirill and his grandson? Assuming they're the same race.
So it's a little hard to tell with the professor, but Kirill looks like he's a half elf.
Could Ludo have been a half elf? Like based on the size?
Yeah, he's like, yeah. So Ludo was a human. Kirill is a half elf.
Oh, he's all scribbled up, so I didn't think you were telling me.
Admittedly, the two in here, their husks. It's not quite as like completely desiccated as Orem was. I think the shadows and the mage dispatch people in similar but not identical ways.
So, Alina, did I see that your work here is impressive? You dealt with several of the creatures. Did any of them escape then?
None of the shadows.
So the mage is the only one who was able to leave.
As far as I'm aware.
What's this quite troubling?
You'll have to excuse me, though. I need to go speak with the captain. I need to get a report on the rest of the happenings. Again, I greatly appreciate your efforts in helping quell the attack. But for now, we'll need to increase security and Torque here will escort you out of the keep. But again, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Before we leave, Coral, your grandfather's office is findings, anything like that. Just the four of us are, well, at least the two of us, are fairly well traveled. Perhaps we could help make some sense of the notes that were left behind.
I mean, there's different journals, and he brought some of his old books, and he scribbles notes in there all the time. I wouldn't know where to tell you to start. If you don't want to come back and look, that would be fine. That's fine with me, at least. But I think we need to just do something about. And he just again like gestures back to the withered remains of his grandfather and starts crying again.
So I'll kind of look over to you guys and turn to Rallis. Just, is there anything else you're interested in here, or is it time to retire this evening and let them tend to those no longer with us?
There's much I'm interested in, but yes, the hour's late, and I don't know how much. I don't want to push him any further, as it were.
Agreed.
Did Varric have any notes on him?
Nothing particular. The thing in particular that was on the professor's person was the magical gemstone.
It's not there anymore.
It is not.
Okay.
Just make sure Any notes you might have on them, especially ones from today? Look at it closely.
I will. I'll try and compile them, and I don't know. I don't know what we found.
As we like prepare to kind of leave, and he looks distressed, I'm just gonna have my hand on his shoulder and just know that your grandfather is happy that you're still alive. There's more you can do for him. Potentially tomorrow you can help get to the bottom of all this, but for now, as you rest tonight, know he's happier that you're alive.
Just like lets out a happy, sad smile.
I don't want to assume, but he doesn't seem he's faking his tears at all or anything, right? These are genuine.
Seems that way. You can roll an insight check if you'd like.
I think I rolled insight on him earlier too. But you can, yeah.
20.
20? Yeah, I mean, it seems like a kid who just like came and found their grandpa dead rather abruptly and somewhat violently.
Somewhat.
I'd like to know what your definition of violence
Well, not
is.
as
Yeah,
violent
that's-
as-
Yeah, well,
Not as violent as like violence. It was like magic violence.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the shadows.
Slightly less
Yes.
violent.
It's just a shadow.
You
of
still
violence.
die from it, but it's less violent than
it's
if it
like
were
it's harder to
physical.
see.
Yeah.
Because it's in the shadow.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
two-dimensional violence.
Yeah.
Ralos, I'm not sure about you, but I definitely think a drink is in order.
I could use something to break my appetite.
So I don't even think we finished the drinks we ordered earlier.
Well, we had several rounds, so I feel like we might have had some. Or at least, maybe not the last ones. Maybe they're still there waiting for us.
You two still plan to spend the evening here?
Look at you. Well,
It's pretty late now.
I feel like it's too late to leave for tonight at least. Tomorrow may be a different story.
Well, if they seems like they've come in and gone what they're after. Only risk is that they come back and decide it wasn't actually too much work, or it's less work when everyone's back in bed. But not about to go out on the road tonight.
As a gentleman of the same pageantry, I don't think that the difficulty was what he was worried about. She, presumably.
As a gentleman of pageantry,
Well, of course.
I'm just gonna look at you really confused and then walk out of the room.
I'll follow you.
Gentlemen of pageantry.
Well, I'll follow.
You know, they're a tougher crowd than most of the ones we saw. I don't know.
Yes.
Gentleman of pageantry.
Don't touch me.
As it
More of a
turns
girl
out.
than I am.
As it turns out, Fabian,
As a gentleman of frivolity.
people who you run into in a place called Darkhold that are just passing through. This is not exactly a destination city.
Yeah, no,
I don't think people are coming here to make friends.
yeah, that's reasonable, but as fate would have it, you get to know someone pretty well fighting alongside them, and
You're,
shows.
you're so sentimental, Fabian. It's touching, really.
just trying to
I
make
enjoy it, don't worry.
new memories, and not just gonna like feel the ring.
Jingle your ring.
Yeah.
We'll just continue on.
All right, so you guys head back out of the keep structure. As you pass back through the courtyard, you see the female drow who's ordering everyone around.
Where was she?
Roll initiative.
Insight.
As you passed her, you hear her just go, "Where the fuck is that blasted gnome?"
Orin?
She looked at you, and then her stomach growls. I guess I don't know.
Down.
Who the fuck are you, and how do you know Orin Garrick?
Orin's laying in the square with the rest of them.
He didn't quite make us, I'm afraid.
That lazy drunken bastard.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tried.
Well, he went to fight him, so I don't know about lazy.
But he definitely
Stupid,
was
perhaps, at
drunken.
times.
Yeah, the second part is true. I also can't speak to the third part.
Valid.
Fuck.
Guess it would make it easier on his parents if he was.
She turns to two other nearby soldiers. Go and find the body of Orin down there and bring it up here. Bring it to me.
Why
Did you need him for something specific?
He's the one bloody mage in this fucking keep.
Well,
I don't have a way to send word to Ivrador for reinforcements now.
What's about there's a girl who shot lightning.
It also went invisible.
Yeah, it did that too. Maybe it's not mage. Maybe it's who knows what people are born with these days.
We're probably referring to the certified mages, I had to guess.
He is the mage that was assigned to me. And who the bloody fucking hell are you lot?
Just some passerby.
Going to bed. That attitude.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the time for hostility has clearly passed. Just like stern. Like, I'm kind of pissed off that she's this mad. Like,
It was less hostile towards you guys. It was more hostile towards the fact that that Orin's dead, and more just like, and wait, who the fuck are you guys?
Yeah,
Like,
but
why-
she's a drow, right?
Yeah, it's-
Yeah. So you know it was said with animosity in
Right.
mind.
Oh my god.
She was the one who closed the gates, and we were the ones that
Red
fed off
cop,
much of the
she's a
zombies
human.
until the guardhouse was vacated.
Oh,
to
that
take
makes
care of the rest.
First drow that has to be the nicest drow we've ever met. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's true.
the
Oh yeah, they need to be an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, they have to be a saint.
This person needs to be like, oh
You
yeah,
have to tell me my grandmother was actually a drow.
I spend my
Yep.
off time, doing community service, and I worked for a non-profit during the day.
oh no, this bar needs to stay open.
Donate everything I don't need to charity.
The,
Let me tell you what happened to maybe the one of the most innocent drow we met in the last campaign.
Innocent.
Innocent
Most
rough.
most
Yeah.
innocent.
Most
It didn't say
innocent.
innocent.
we are
No,
nothing
the
more
most-
than people who find ourselves here out of happenstance. We did do what we could to help make sure that the buildings in this town stayed standing. And
I'm gonna leave again.
we worked well as a team.
I'm not trying to take you
Yeah.
with me. I'm just like
No.
I'm realizing like I'm tired and I don't want to stand here and be berated by this
Random
person.
I'm also following suit, Sam.
Where
And I just wave in.
I mean, it's their responsibility to take care of me.
where
One
were you
mage
trying to
comes
get
in.
word to again?
Sorry.
Where were you trying to get word to again?
And they're
Excuse
upset
me.
with us.
Excuse me for interrupting, but can somebody please teach him this aspect?
Which one? There's so many things to teach.
I know.
Iridor,
Iridor.
which is where the garrison here is sort of filled out from soldiers from Iridor.
How far away is
You should make sure she hasn't.
It is quite a number of days to the west. I don't have an exact number
That's
for
fine.
you right now, but I will.
multiple number
Things that will be answered by me finishing that map.
days to the west. That's fine. I am terribly sorry for your loss.
He seemed like a admirable, brave, and charismatic gentleman. And
She just laughs. I don't know who you met, but that is not the Oren Garrick that I have come to know.
You know, there are many stories that get told about people after their death. And that's what cements their legacy. Maybe he deserved what you're saying, but anyone who runs headfirst into near certain death to protect their home deserves some respect. Hope you have a good night.
You say something good, I'm not there to hear it.
And then I will follow my group.
You get told. Wow.
God damn it. She's never going to be able to just have a drow character.
Rude standoff.
We were fine. We didn't actually do anything that
We
was
didn't
out of,
kill her
out of
yet.
character.
We didn't walk
Fair.
because she was a drow, we walked away because she was grumpy.
I don't need to take that.
I did
And we were tired.
0 things differently than if that person was a human.
Does she look distracted?
Is she like distracted?
Yeah, like is she?
I mean, she looks very preoccupied and busy.
Is there a bottle of hard liquor anywhere within grabbing distance
Of her?
of me? Like as I'm walking away from the bar towards the rooms.
He was
Oh,
weren't in the bar,
she
we were
was.
still in the
She was not in the
Oh, we
bar.
were in the keep.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like,
I was like,
we
I thought we
Man,
were
really?
but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
everybody who works at Darkhold is Hannes from Attack on Titan. They're all just
No,
constantly
it's okay.
drunk.
Okay, never mind. I will head back to wherever they were going.
Okay. So you catch up with them on their way back. And yeah, so when you return to the crossroads, it is bustling, a little panicky, some folks drinking to calm their nerves. When you come in, Rorik sees you and them, Millie. See, I told you it was them. They closed the southern gate for us. And you see a small female halfling come up and say, "Thank you so much. Rorik was telling us about what you did for us, and we can't thank you enough. Any food and drink while you stay here is on me. So please." Partake as much as you like, and just know that you have our eternal gratitude.
Is Millie a dwarf?
A
Halfling.
halfling.
Like, was she like owner of the tavern? Did we meet her already?
Nope.
Oh.
I hadn't seen her before.
Ask her.
Well, that's appreciated, truly. I would like to think we would have done what anyone with the skills to do so would have done. Or at least would hope, at least.
Do you know people?
I would hope. Not all people would, obviously, but we can hope that they would do something.
I think it's a.
And again, those with the skills to do so. I'm not expecting the local, I don't know.
Sure. You've met different people on your travels than I have.
Again, this is what I hope most would do, not what they actually would.
An idealist. Like I said, fascinating people.
Thank you, Millie.
It's the least I can do. So yeah, anything you guys want to do before crashing for the night?
I don't know what tomorrow looks like for the two of you. Let's.
Slightly cloudy with chance of rain.
Are you at all interested in the professor's research of getting this town more help? I'm not sure if you're content to move on, Ralos. I'm not sure what you're thinking about at the moment either, but I could. This town seems defenseless without more reinforcements, and whatever did this is certainly strong enough to do it elsewhere.
This town had a whole garrison. One mage came in, wiped them all out. You think, oh yeah,
There-
let's the four of us. Let's help out too.
There's still a good number of soldiers that are alive in the keep, but there are also a shit ton of people that died tonight.
I understand. That's very reasonable. I'm not saying track down this person, but magical items also tend to be worth quite a bit of money.
Well, that's true. Let's think about things a bit here, Fabian.
Absolutely.
If I stage an attack on a city, and the city goes therefore on high alert afterwards, I'm not coming back anytime soon. Certainly not until things get relaxed, and certainly not if I've retrieved what I've already come for. Now, the alternative towards us staying here to provide protectors of the city to a city with a garrison is that we go after this individual who annihilated half of the city's forces. Now tell me, do you think you can handle fighting such an individual?
No, I certainly don't think that we would act as the commanders. More the drow kind woman we just spoke with said that Orin was supposed to call for reinforcements from Iridor. I don't know if that's on the path you guys were previously taking, but we could even go travel that direction and potentially just alert someone that, hey, there's a town that potentially needs your help.
The birds.
Grandpa Kevin, is it on the way that we were going? Iridor?
You guys are trying to head in the direction of the coast, right?
Yeah, which is west and Iridor is north.
No, Iridor is west.
Okay.
Iridor is sort of the gateway to the coast from
Okay.
this part of the continent.
Okay.
And you said you wanted to go to the coast.
We can
You do have me on that.
we can go through Iridor. That's fine by me.
This might be a person is only remembered for the things that they do. And if providing a small additional favor to this town is something that can help provide a good name for us, I'm at least interested in passing the information along. If it's already where you were headed, and I think it's towards where Ralos wanted to go as well.
Care less about our names, but I'm more interested in trying to keep the people that live here safe. But to the same point. Yes.
Sure.
We can help. They might be willing to give us some supplies for the travel too. But I don't know that I need more or any memories for myself. Thanks.
I'm in that boat as well. As much as I'd like to help these people, as I said, there are people here more capable than us who didn't stand a chance.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, I know. I'm talking just before
Well,
the
yeah,
earlier
okay,
conversation.
Sure.
It's interesting. It's quite a mystery, and as much as I'd like to get vengeance for these people,
I mean, the vengeance is
Doc, I hear there's a paladin there.
putting our own lives at risk would only be, I think,
Look
foolish. But
I agree.
wasn't sure if you guys were hiding any talents that might lead you to really want to go digging for whatever this gemstone was, whatever this tablet said, and that riddle will keep me going for quite some time. But
I am curious as well. I won't.
What's riddle?
3 letters on a broken stone tablet that can only certainly lead to some dark necromantic power that could.
What if it was like a paragraph of text and it's just RKV and it could be literally anything without, and it's just not helpful at all?
I mean, that wouldn't be a very good story.
Sometimes life has bad stories.
Not boring ones, typically.
The boring ones are the best ones.
Gonna have to have more conversations about that as we make our way west.
Did someone say vengeance? Nero from another dimension attacking with advantage.
I feel like someone has vowed enmity towards me.
Run!
Don't run. You can't run fast enough.
But I'm
Better.
I'm fine to sleep tonight and head west in the morning. If I don't know that
But do you want to go gallivanting into the Strinafell?
I'm saying that I would if someone else wanted to.
We're gallivanting away from the Strinafell.
Right, he's saying you don't want to, as if I wanted to.
Yeah, I can see it. We've known each other for how long? A
Maybe
few
an
hours?
hour, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It would be a very interesting story.
Yeah.
And
You know, the last man that I knew who came out to the Strinafell was hunted down by a necromancer and a bunch of shadow beasts and was killed, leaving his grandson to suffer.
When did that happen? Oh, just now.
Yeah, just now.
That's right. We just saw that.
Yep.
We did. Yes, we did.
But let's go visit the Strinafell. I hear anything interesting you find leaves a powerful wizard bounty hunter to kill you.
Wait, are we in the Strinafell right now?
I don't think so.
Technically.
Technically, a little bit inside.
Oh God, we can't leave. If we leave, we'll be chased down by a wizard.
Maybe.
This is a shame.
I mean, we'll talk
Could've
about
been a
the
witch.
difference between being alive and truly living
Richard.
more another time.
Blizzard.
A lizard.
Perhaps in the morning when I'm less grumpy. Yes. That sounds like a good idea.
Perhaps
That's 50 gold worth of spellcasting right there.
heading into the Strinafell is certainly not something that I am equipped to do at the moment. But
But you're already in.
How much
Well-
rope do you have?
50 feet, I was born with it.
It's the answer as expected.
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's 50 feet or 10 feet.
And we each picked a different line of that joke at the same
Made
damn
it
time.
down. Yeah, I'm like, wait, did we just?
But yes, Iridor and traveling on a road is better and with more people in it, typically.
Sure. Here it might go faster.
You can't be wanting us to part ways already.
I mean,
Ralos, there's some subtext here. I'm not sure if you're picking up on it, but she does want to leave our company.
I mean, if we did go the same way, you know what would happen, right? We would stop for the night, and catch up. Oh, this is awkward. We just saw you.
Say goodbye,
and
and then there
leave.
they are, and it's like
It's
going
the
to-
worst.
It's awful. If I wanted to not travel the same road with you, I would just tell you, and I would wait any number of days to see you gone. But it's fine. We can travel together. I'm okay with it.
Do we all have drinks at this point?
If you want drinks, yeah.
I would just have tea.
As you're saying this to us,
you're really pushing this thing.
To the fallen.
Also,
to the fallen as well.
But mostly to us.
To us.
Gates didn't close themselves.
May those who did this seek their timely demise.
Agreed.
and stay there.
Hopefully.
That's the trick, isn't it? Okay. So, unless you guys have anything else you'd like to do tonight, I assume in turn you all retire for the evening to your rooms.
We had our room together, right?
Yes.
We only got one.
Correct.
Vivian,
Giggity.
What?
you're really pushing this buddy thing with these two. What's the deal? I mean, they're perfectly fine. They're definitely, they're very fascinating individuals, but you've taken quite the liking to them and quite a. It's been an hour. Let's be real. It's been maybe 2.
There's
Like 4, and then like a life or death situation.
It's changing.
there's
You don't know if Ralos can tell time well.
Exactly.
true.
It's an hour as far as I'm concerned.
Ralos is a dog. It's been no time at all. It's been forever.
I have a feeling that there's some stories here, and I'll pull out like a small leather book and flip like halfway through, find a new page, and kind of pull the ring out. So you, sorry, you.
Where'd you get that?
I've shown you this.
You can read?
Oh, I thought you meant the new ring.
Oh, no, that yeah, I did pull up the new one. Yeah, this it was on the gnome. Sure, certainly, and I'll hand you the whole necklace.
Before I look at this, I'll let him finish what he was saying first.
There's been a bit of a dry spell with stories, and I'm not going to return to where I came from until this book is full. I've got to have something worth handing off.
Rest assured, we'll make plenty of use of those papers.
I think so.
You don't need to jump the gun at any beck and call of a thread that appears.
There's just, I don't know. I can't really explain it. I don't know. Maybe there's just comfort in heading toward the coast with a larger group.
While I don't disagree with this, allow me to preach first caution. Given your circumstances, pouring into and trusting two people you've met 4 hours ago is rather ambitious, don't you think?
I know that I was maybe a bit more gregarious than others that we've met in the past, but my wits are still about me.
Good. And keep in mind, especially those less interested in new companionship, may not take a pushier approach very kindly.
Yeah, I may have judged this pair a bit wrong, but what's the rabbit folk called again?
Herring.
Other Herringon I've met have been very amenable to my typical approach, and I just judged this one wrong. Part of why I find her as interesting as I do.
I do defer mostly to your understanding of others that we meet, but as somebody who has dealt a little bit with the, we'll say, annoying tactics of conversation, sometimes it is a bit risky to generalize or assume something based on others we've met.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. I also, traveling alone with you here has just reminded me of how freeing it is to have friends, and I don't know, maybe it's a gamble, but it seems a little bit too coincidental that we'd find people that are willing to fight for others and work as well as we did in combat, and not hope that there could be more people that I could know and that could know me. But I definitely, maybe a few too many drinks, a bit careless on my part.
A bit, but nothing too crazy.
Of course.
Just pumping the brakes before it potentially could be. And I will forgive you and pretend not to be too offended by you desiring more boisterous and exciting company with us.
Trust me.
I wasn't getting enough stories with you. You're boring. We need some new friends.
It's just an interesting thread, but the main characters never leave the book. Side characters come and go, but trust me, there's no replacing there's no replacing our duo.
Now let's see. I spin this ring around.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize?
You do.
Foxcott, have you been there before?
No, but I know a bit about it.
I think I've only heard of it. The reputation precedes it, but
Believe me, it does. Excessively. In fact, this and me, I just like hold this up for a second as I'm like gonna give it back to you. And whom it was attached to, rather disappointing and a poor reflection on what I have come to expect from the establishment. And I put it down kind of pointedly.
I'm gonna have to agree. I knew we had one powerful mage among our group when she went invisible and stood toe to toe with whoever that enemy was, but I expected quite a bit more from looking back on it. But I would never tell anyone else that.
I will also keep that information to myself, since you seem devoted to preserving the image of this individual.
Those that make sacrifices for the safety of others often go unappreciated if not kept in the correct light. Bit of a soft spot.
It's generally more admirable when it's successful and not a wasted life.
Town still stands,
Not by his hand.
but others don't know that. His impacts could be greater than we know. Or at least that's what I'm writing in my book.
You do him more justice than he deserves, but I will not
He
argue
took up
with you.
action economy. Like that's valuable.
Exactly. Yeah, come on. Who cares that the
He
enemy
added
had
a
advantage
+1
from-
to action
Right,
economy.
He soaked
baby.
up legendary resistances. All right, that's all.
All that he did was make this guy a bigger shutdown roll.
Is this ring tarnished or otherwise worn in any way?
I mean, it's not pristine, but its condition doesn't surprise you for someone living out here at Darkhold.
Okay. So it does it look like it might be magical? Yeah.
Ah, I see. Make an Arcana check.
Certainly. 20.
20. There is nothing about this ring that makes you think that it might be magical.
All right. Well, then it's going back on the necklace.
Take one thing from everybody that I find.
Just the ones that are small enough.
And then I'm gonna take out a quill and start writing a little bit in the book.
All right. Kurin, Kier, anything before you two retire for the evening?
Any thoughts on today's events?
I'm just a bit surprised for a fortress out here in Strenafell.
Yeah, I
That
thought this able might be.
Just it seemed too easy. But I guess if they're not prepared for a mage,
I'm quite curious if there was someone perhaps on the inside that opened the gate, or if some sort of magic was responsible. Curious. I don't like leaving these sorts of things unsolved. These people.
don't much like it either. It's a bit too close to home, you know. But we need to press on.
I unfortunately agree for now. There are. It's important to know when things are perhaps above our pay grade.
We can still we can check in what was the city?
Iridor?
Iridor. We can check in Iridor. Let them know. Make sure everything's all right. We can let the Grimhunt know that we'll be heading that way and can take their message if they need it. If what's her name? If Radrin isn't able to send one. The
Radrin's the bard.
oh, it's a bard.
It's a College of Swords bard.
Oh, she was the.
She went
There's
miserable
so many,
and
there's so many
cast
names
light.
already. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Hopefully she is, but yeah, I'm happy to help since we're heading that direction.
Do you think the other two had anything to do with it?
They're hard to read. The one, I don't know. I doubt it. They just arrived tonight, but that in some ways makes them just as suspicious. Walk in under the guise of being, just another someone just passing through in the middle of the night, and you let the gates open on your way in. But I didn't really get that impression. They did hold their own fighting off those undead.
The undead were just a distraction.
You're not wrong. Don't know. One is after stories. The other one I can't read at all. He finds things interesting, and I don't really know what that means.
Fabian, I'm not too worried about, but Ralos.
Kind of unnerved me a bit. You sneak it in. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Ages in them.
Heavily.
I trust them, I think, enough to at least travel with them, but I don't know that I'd want to have both of us, say, sleeping in their immediate company.
I think I'd agree. I think if they want to follow us, I'd rather know that they're following us.
Right. It's a better way to do it. Right. We'll see what the morning brings, perhaps, and maybe there's some more information, but otherwise we're heading out.
You said a chance of rain, right?
I was just making small talk. Though if it does rain, clearly I can see the future. Not that making nothing like that.
It rains here a lot.
It'll be misty tomorrow. Ooh. Unheard of.
There will be dew on the ground.
It'll be morning.
The sun will rise in the east. Assumedly, I don't
Does
know
it?
Anterra.
What side? East or west? Where's the sun?
North. Take that.
How can you possibly know that?
Could you make my prediction amazing or just
Just
design
because the
itself?
sun rose in
It rises the same way in our world.
Pretty good idea in order to make sure cardinal directions are easier.
There's actually 6 cardinal
the east.
directions.
Yeah, up and down.
Oh god. Up and down, and
And
then
they
you
change
turn, and then it's
depending
up and down, and then you turn again, and then it's up and down.
But you have to turn exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. Else you no clip through reality, and that's like.
So you said we're going west. Is that if I'm facing north, it'd be to my left, or
Yes.
Sometimes you just
where
have
you
to-
also come up with like a new time,
Well, sometimes-
scale,
sometimes-
new measuring system.
Sometimes you need to lay down on the ground and then start walking forward, and that's how you start going to the other north.
What is the Chiefs Festival? Let's get to what we're trying to get down to here.
Yeah, let's get to the freaking coast so we can get to the boats and make smaller boats.
that is what he is interested in.
We're
Making boats and
beelining.
stuff.
I have a great business idea. This is gonna give me notoriety from coast to coast.
Coast to coast, boats to boats.
It writes
All right.
itself.
Uh,
Straight upward.
okay, so
I would like to gain the benefits.
you all go to sleep, gain the benefits of a long rest, and we will gain the benefits of a short break.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we'll be back in a few.
All right, out, please. I
And we're back. Did we change like the brightness setting on that camera? Because you guys are like
Which
remarkably darker.
We tried that. I can change it again.
It's probably worth
We
it.
didn't try that. We just turned off auto exposure. And then I said, "Oh, can we change the brightness?" And I was like, "No, Lenny, you dummy. We can't change the brightness on this."
Well, he stood up, and I was like, "No, not right now."
Oh, I thought it'd be worth it right now.
It's alright. We're just the ominous side of the table, I guess.
Spooky.
I mean, they
I
are.
mean, that's what we think.
Of the two sides.
So what did you change? You turned
It
on.
was
or-
on auto exposure, but it wasn't working when the sun was out because the sun's the worst. And
I mean, you can turn
You
it
don't
back.
go here. You don't say that.
We can turn it back on right now and find out.
Let's not leaving this.
It might be terrible.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Blinded by the light.
Stop. We're gonna get freaking. We're gonna
we're gonna
strike.
configure up at the top. Go
Only
up,
if he actually
configure
has the
right.
notes.
Next tab. Exposure.
Auto.
Bam.
Hey, look, we can see people.
Okay, so basically, at
During
the
the
beginning,
day.
Unrivaled
So
technical
in the first,
production
in
quality.
the first 2 hours or hour and a half of the stream, we have to turn it off, and then once the sun goes down, we turn it back on because then we can be seen.
So we just need to start timing our breaks with sunset on the dot,
Right.
and we come back 15 minutes later, switch the
There you
camera,
go.
and go.
If there's ever a Games Done Quick series for OBS camera problems, I've got the paths locked.
I'm pretty sure there was a stream for that, but it was like I think it was broadcast at like 4 a.m.
I see.
It just like wasn't one of the prime time
Not
spots.
donations for that.
But why though?
Oh,
Okay.
It's day 2, brother.
Oh my gosh!
Day
Day
2.
2.
This is
Bam.
twice as long
You
as the
wake
first
up-
campaign.
To zombies in your room. No.
You were a zombie this whole time. You didn't tell me.
Oh.
Can you see my mini?
Is there a month?
Yes.
A zombie.
I will.
Wait,
Get, yeah,
yep,
that's
yep.
another
That
thing
was why I
that
phrased it that way.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're good.
it is springtime, not too long after the thaw.
Beautiful.
But yeah,
Early spring.
when you guys have a map, it will also come with a calendar, and day 1 was this date for you.
There it is.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. Things that are in progress because we got the pro tour coming up.
Let's go.
No problem.
Okay,
Let's get it.
so you all awake. God. You all awake, feeling well rested. If I had to wager a guess, I would imagine that Kurin would be the first one up, purely out of habit.
Out of
Rabbit? Yeah.
I don't know why.
it's not even that good, but yeah. Yep.
It had to. How many opportunities is that gonna come up?
None. Never again.
Exactly.
All right.
You didn't think he was gonna sneak that one by us, did you?
Yeah, as long as we don't make a rabbit of it.
Let's get out of his hair.
Hop it over the next time.
All right, I'm putting my lucky foot down.
Do you know I was born in Iridor?
Oh, spelled I-R-A-D-O-R? Canonically?
It's out there.
Eardor?
I'll wake up and rub the gray back into my eyes and start going downstairs.
Did we officially gain the benefits of the
We're on the second floor.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
second floor.
We decided because
Right.
we inevitably would be.
Yep.
Yep.
We are on the second
We go to our rooms upstairs. You're on the first floor. We go to our rooms on the first floor.
I'm going upstairs no matter what.
I go up the stars. I come back down the other stairs. Go across the hall. To
I
my
learned
room.
miming so that I can go upstairs.
Don't die.
And tie my birth
Not
room
yet.
ceiling and walk the stairs.
Right. Yeah, I'll be canonically. I'll be the second one down today.
Okay. Cannot.
I'd be having some tea and porridge. Or
Okay.
whatever sort of breakfast they had.
Yeah. So it seems like this is, a decently popular breakfast spot in the town.
It's a harmful stereotype.
How many, like,
We are not
a dozen or so people here, maybe?
Yeah. Millie's back at the bar having breakfast at one of these slightly taller stools. But yeah, there's a decent, dozen or so people in here having breakfast in the morning. Oh my God, what?
Don't ask. It's not worth it.
It's not
We don't
worth
make the
interrupting
joke,
it.
It's certainly not worth it.
Slightly taller stool. Like you said, it's not.
Millie, I see that
actually
I see that
it's not
chair is a
worth
little
it.
taller than the others. I hope that that's there for you. What do you have on the menu today? Just gonna push through it. We're gonna get there.
You said don't ask.
God, I need to have you guys like face away from each other or something.
There is no coordination that's safe.
Well, before Stefan was across from me, and me and Stefan would make eye contact every time you said "fun guy."
I don't have that anymore. It's gonna be harder. I have to look behind me.
You can look at Jordan. He'll get there eventually.
So just I need Caleb to face away from everyone else.
What do you mean Jordan and I were across from each other? You think that worked out well?
Oh God. There's no combination that is
Correct.
safe.
Yes.
You cannot be safe.
Just stop saying
Anyway.
words.
Okay.
Anything that ends in it.
Just start signing. Just start signing everything.
We'll figure out sign language puns. You know we
Yeah,
do.
but then once we're doing sign language,
All right.
we can make jokes.
I will
Then we can
order-
laugh and sign like
Right.
I will order some eggs and bacon and coffee for this morning.
Yeah. They bring it right out. It's just surprisingly good coffee. But yeah,
Wow.
food's delicious.
How's the tea?
The tea is delightful.
Not surprising.
Yeah, it turns out like stuff, goods like that, merchants pass through here often enough that they stay in relatively good supply of some pretty good product.
Were you guys also second floor?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Safer
I
from
come
undead.
out.
No, that I remember because we were second floor, and then you guys. There
No,
was
we
a moment.
demanded second
There was
floor.
a moment where we were trying to figure out where I was like wondering if we would end up being like
Near each other.
close to
Sharing
each
a
other.
wall.
We are on the second.
Having the adjoining door where you can each open one side of it.
floor.
All right, I
I'm
walk
scared.
out at the exact same time as. I'm just standing at my door listening.
You're at a door.
You're a door. I'm practicing for when we get to the city. All right.
Man, that one I thought was safe. I did. I thought it
Unless
was.
you guys want to. You guys
It
wanna
looks,
chat.
that's the thing.
it looks safe on paper.
Yep.
You try, you
Real
trying to-
quick sidebar: Malazan Book of the Fallen. He just has like things that are so obviously like bad puns. Like not like he doesn't play into them, but like things where like, if you wanted to make a bad pun out of it, you could. And he just does it, and I'm like, maybe that's the way to just take the power away. Like here's an easy pun.
Yeah, just
There you
make
go.
too many of them
Yeah.
so that the ones are they're
Like
too
once a
low-lying.
character's name is not, like you just have to ignore it.
Yeah.
The front gates to the city of Iridor are actually just two large elephant ear shaped stone doors.
There you go.
See.
Just lean into it.
The lobes
But
of
yeah,
the
no,
names.
if you guys before I get down there, if you want to RP or something, go. Don't let me crash your party yet.
Go ahead and take my plate. I'm gonna sit in the chair next to you.
Morning.
Good morning. Was talking with Ralos last evening, and I understand that my personality can be a bit much for some, and just want to make sure that
Ralos, I think you have too much personality.
no, he thinks I have the perfect amount of personality.
I see. Are you too nice?
No. I understand why you might think that we did share a room.
Well, and if he thinks you're perfect,
Well,
just
he hasn't said that to me. I assume he thinks it.
Are you down there?
No,
yeah.
I said if you guys want to talk before I get there, don't let me crash your party.
I'll be a few minutes behind her as well.
That's beside the point, though. I am currently not an item with anyone. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find someone.
Found one once, but that's a whole other story. But just wanted to say, I hope that you'll have us with you on your the next leg of the trip.
You hope I'll have you.
Yeah. I'll let Rallis explain. I'll take the place.
Wait a minute. Let me look at our charisma stats.
Like, it's not coming through, all right?
You were doing really good, and then you
You Jordan
doubled
it.
back into what you were
Right.
saying the night before that you were apologizing for.
That's
I'm sorry I come on strong, but can we go with you though?
Can I
Anyway.
have number? Can I
Can I have it?
I'm
Can
gonna
I-
drink the coffee.
can I
already,
rab
which
it?
I should have done
Can I
first,
rab it?
And then we'll wait for Rallis to come back.
As you go to walk away, I'll be like, you can still sit here.
That's okay. Yeah, that'll be.
It's fine. I'm not trying to flirt with you.
No,
That's not why
I'm
asking
sorry.
about your-
Yeah, that's the very wrong impression. Friends, then.
love this so much. I love this so much.
Sure, friends.
Sit down.
I'll sort of just tap my teacup against your coffee mug.
Good night. Take a sip of coffee and just open up the book and just add some more notes to my story that I was finishing from the night before. Put it away and eat breakfast. But, yeah.
You grave robbed a ring yesterday.
I wouldn't. Preserving a token of heroics.
Stole a dead guy's ring.
No intention of selling it, though. If that's what you thought.
Didn't
I'm
say you wanted to sell it.
Oh,
I said
no.
you stole a dead guy's ring.
not. To be fair, he wasn't using it
It seemed
anymore.
like he was wearing it.
That's true. Yeah, no, I did. That is what happened. But I will put it to very good use.
What are you doing with it?
It's trying to add some more.
Put it under your shirt, didn't you?
Yeah. It's and
So it's not even showing.
I'll bring the ring around on the chain and just, it's provides more color for the stories when I tell them in halls. I'll open the book again and I'll read off the title written in this huge flourish of cursive. This is the story of Orm, the mage that held back death. I look for material and hope one day to pass on this book of stories to the bard who will take my place on the stage next.
I see. Sorry, I'm actively trying to find something. I'm not.
You're good.
Just.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's
Just
just-
scrolling.
Yeah, whatever.
very
Sure.
Flipping the Dark
Get outta
Old
here.
Times
Yeah,
newspaper.
nice.
Weirdo.
Oh, it's Gertrude's birthday today.
Okay. That's
Okay.
that. I was.
Making sure you spoke common.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not his first language, hence the accent.
So as you show me the thing in your book, do you mind if I? No, that's okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna sort of take a close look at it and just observe it for a few seconds.
Soft ear brushes over.
An ear falls and grazes your arm, and you get butterflies and yeah. I look closely at it for a few seconds. Lovely handwriting.
Thank you. Those who trained me in the art of the sword told me that the ability to mark letters carefully in a book would teach you how to swing a sword deftly, and they were just taught hand in hand.
Seems silly to me, but I guess if it works for you,
Yeah, it's it is.
seems like a pen's pretty. You use your wrist more there.
Oh, you use the
sword is a bit broader of motion.
It's a bit broader, but it's the I think it's a metaphor. It's not a one-to-one, to be fair. Maybe they meant it more literally.
I think bards tend to look more into metaphors.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Your handwriting's very nice, and you fight very well, so maybe it works.
That's what I keep hoping, or else I spent a lot of time figuring out how to write things pretty for no reason.
Well, you write things pretty, even if it doesn't help you kill things. Sometimes things can help you not kill things.
Yeah, you like to find a deeper meaning in the menial tasks of growing up.
Killing things isn't a deeper meaning.
No, more than the handwriting was boring.
So
That so far was my favorite misunderstanding exchange of the night.
And I'll close it up. Just kind of tie the book together and just put it back in. Yeah, dozens of stories, but it's a lot of more pages to fill.
did I get a how far in the book was Orin's story?
It was the last written page, so like the next page is blank.
Mhm.
No, I think he's asking how far into the book is the.
I wasn't sure. Yeah,
First page.
like a little more than halfway through.
Okay.
I think it's the book.
We have to fight 12 more things, and he'll be done.
Like, about that thick?
Yeah.
Okay. It's decent size.
Like maybe 150-ish pages or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
76 stories.
Quite the adventure.
There you go.
Still level 1.
They're
Duh.
save the
That's why it's
backstory.
not done yet. He's got most of it.
Oh no.
That's not a character, you can't be upset.
Exactly. It's going to be a fun collection one day. Excited to find out who I'll be giving it to.
So, at some point, you were joined by Kier and
Hold on.
Ralphs.
When I come
Oh,
out of my
excuse
room, do you also come out at a similar time?
Corinne was sort of my alarm bell, and I hit snooze,
Yeah.
and then like 10 minutes later I come out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Not him. Gordon was my alarm bell. I just heard the freaking.
Oh,
I heard her walk down the hall. And I was like, fascinating. But no.
Fascinating.
Actually,
Was,
first thing in the morning.
Fabian out to get awake then.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all.
I was planning with that.
Yeah. Well, he's clearly down there already. I can hear his voice carrying a bit.
So then, him and Corinne are having a conversation.
Are you jealous? Is there something going on there?
There's
Are
not.
you too?
I'm very curious.
There's not. Other than we're just traveling together. But I can't help but imagine what a conversation between Kuran and Vivian would sound like. I almost don't want to interrupt.
Truly, that is a very difficult scenario, isn't it? Because part of me would love to experience it. Just think about it.
Maybe get close enough to hear them without actually knowing we're there.
Sounds like an excellent. I like the way you think. See, I
Oh,
knew.
you too, another fellow man of leather armor.
I knew you were one with brown boots.
And the red and black as well.
Oh, and the red and black.
We are cut from the same leather, as it were.
Literally. What do you do? Oh, we need like a red interior of a cloak. Okay, cool. We need a red exterior of a cloak. Okay, just cut this in half. Do the same thing with the black and just switch.
Oh man.
I
Suppose we can interrupt them. Also, it probably comes up very dodgy if anybody comes up the stairs and you and I are just chatting.
I suppose it does.
And given the circumstances of the previous evening, that's not a very good
Yeah, we don't
light to be
we don't
placed in as outsiders.
we don't want to draw attention in that regard. Definitely not.
But we'll go quiet. Maybe we can sneak in and hear a little bit of the exchange.
Let's try that.
We tried to
You don't hear a thing.
Yeah, they're just by the time you get down there, they're not speaking anymore. It's just awkwardly sipping on coffee and
I turned to
writing.
Kira and I'm like, this is almost better. Think about the story that this situation tells.
One can only imagine how it got to this point.
Exactly.
Impossible to imagine. You'll never guess.
There's so many different ways, I guess. It's almost a shame we don't get to know, but almost better that we don't.
I think it's better.
All right, well,
We'll go join them.
yep.
You guys are sitting right next to each other?
Yeah. Are they like awkwardly not looking at each other, or?
More just I am drinking coffee.
Are you pointedly? Like,
No, I'm just like you do see one of these like
I'd be pretty just like
zoned out in the tea.
I'd slide in next to Fabian.
Did you get hurt yesterday? Did you
I did not.
No, he didn't get touched.
but you got
I got hurt and then he healed me.
did you just get beat up though? Or
I
was
mean-
there any like
I got hit one
He
time.
got massively bit in the shoulder and it was bleeding like crazy.
okay.
And then it was healed.
Yep.
And that was what happened.
I got you.
He did.
Yeah.
He did get me. Though you probably wouldn't have seen it because you were probably behind the buildings at the time getting to the gate.
Yeah. It'll make sense in a second.
Okay.
Are you down here?
Yeah, he's
I'm here. I slide in next to Fabian. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How did you sleep?
I'm not sliding.
Honestly, not bad.
Any dreams?
None that I'm privy to share.
Appreciate it.
You two look like you're absolutely hitting it off again today.
I mean it's I can speak for Court. I probably
Can you?
put my foot in my mouth a few times this morning, but we did.
He's fine. I imagine this is how he usually talks.
Yes. At least to my understanding.
Yeah, no,
We had
it's
a nice conversation.
It's been solid. We were just discussing Oren's heroic attempts, and yeah, they left us
Stop.
speechless. And
Yes, it will. Let's keep it that way.
yeah.
You got bit, hurt, your shoulder there.
Yeah, it was not exactly fun, but fortunately this one here is capable at mending such issues in combat.
I can fix your cloak for you.
Can you?
It's torn. I can sew it.
How well?
What?
How well?
Better than the gap you have there.
I mean, if it's the stitching you'd like, you can always tear it out and have it
That's
repaired.
true.
But
I'll now or
If you want to take off
Sure.
the cloak now. Yeah, so I'll just pop out, have a little sewing kit on me, and I'll just start stitching it up.
Rorik brings breakfast out for the two of you. Whatever you want. coffee, tea, beer, whatever.
Mimosa.
Great moonshine.
Mimosas. Fine leather goods.
Is it the equivalent of Sunday in Anterra?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. I'll just get coffee and bread. Fresh bread.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Coffee, all the porridge as well, and then just like a little bit of bacon because it wants some bacon. Because who doesn't want bacon while they're in town?
What else did you have?
Bacon,
No, other than bacon.
porridge, isn't that what you got?
Oh, porridge, yeah. I thought you said port. Like you're having this like
Oh.
breakfast stout. I'm like,
Well, it doesn't sound terrible though.
True.
after a few minutes, I'll hand you your cloak back. It looks pretty decent.
Thank you.
It's
Much
not like
appreciated.
it's not like professional quality, but like you're not. It's not like super dramatic.
As you hand the cloak back, sorry, the captain, the dark elf captain, enters.
I audibly.
No, well, we talked about this. We let them make an impression first.
I quite very much made an impression last night.
Is it the same? Is it the same one?
You spoke more to them than I.
It is.
Oh, okay. good, no.
It is the captain.
He said "the" with a
I
capital.
I
T.
heard you scoff without seeing who it was. That's why. Never mind. I'm dead on. Yeah.
Dead on you.
Ah, there you are. Good morning. Good morning. I just I wanted, well, first of all, to apologize to you for my brashness last evening. Obviously, there was a lot going on. There were too many casualties, but I have heard from Radrin and Torque and Rorik here your exploits and your role in closing the gate and preventing further loss of life. And I just wanted to extend my appreciation to the four of you for the part that you played. By any chance, I know you're travelers passing through Darkhold. I wonder if your road might be taking you westward. You see the mage, Oren Garrick. He was the wizard assigned to us at the garrison here. He was our one link to contacting our counterparts in Iridor and asking for, it's our only way to request backup and supplies. And, well, now we are cut off communication-wise. Normally we repel beasts and even wandering hordes of undead like last night aren't a particularly uncommon occurrence, but a specific planned intrusion like that was obviously not something we were adequately prepared for, as it is not something that we usually face, and we need more troops and more, well, at least a new mage, if not some more assistance. And if you happen to be heading westward, and I would surely pay you for your efforts, but I have she basically pulls out this very official-looking sort of scroll case kind of thing, just like an official missive communication kind of deal.
Wax sealed a lot.
Right.
We would be willing to take it. As she's talking, kind of just
Okay.
going into detail.
Gotcha. Yeah, and she's just like, yeah, to the the.
What was her name again?
Oh, I'm so sorry. never introduced myself. I am Captain Anya Sarian. Anya Sarien. I am the captain and leader of the garrison here.
I suppose it wouldn't be that far out of the way for our group. We could certainly stop by. Do you have any horses to spare? Anything that might make the ride a bit quicker?
Horses, not many to speak of. Plus, with the way the roads are, it wouldn't be much faster than being on foot, at least while you exit the edge of the Strunefell. That said, we can certainly resupply you for the trip on the way out, and I will include I don't know what the more official D&D sounding term would be, but an official IOU that upon delivery of the message, each of you were to be paid 50 gold.
A writ.
That's the word. Thank you.
Seems generous, thank you. But yeah, I think we could oblige that.
We can.
It's far from the worst job I've ever had.
There aren't any. Does Darkwood have enemies that I don't know, harry the roads, in attacking you or anything like that? Aside from the normal, creatures of the Strunefell.
I mean, there are some beasts that come out as you pass through the more wooded regions. Some goblinkin out of the hills. Occasional bands of raiders from who knows where. I mean, the roads are safer than the wilds, but it's still safer to travel in greater numbers for your own protection from the various threats.
All right.
That said, only the first few days. The first few days should be relatively problem-free, as that's mostly, even the raiders don't often travel into the Strunefell to search for marks on the road.
I would hope there are easier pickings to risk the Strunefell.
Certainly.
But yeah, you can take this to Eridor. Any supplies you have would be great. Yeah, whatever you might have, especially anything to keep us safe on the roads.
Certainly. And so, as representative of that, this resupply effort, if there is any kind of, not any, but how there's normally there's a climber's kit and a blah 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 kit. If there's a kit of supplies that each of you are interested in.
Can I get a calligrapher's kit?
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Noted.
I think the kid I want to be strong enough to carry.
What is that?
Nothing.
Just a forge.
Just a pocket anvil.
Make very nice toothpicks.
Yeah, it's this big and you won't fold that much times.
Right, it keeps going.
Yeah.
It's
So they call it folded steel for a reason.
Right.
Anything else? There's probably a lot of birth rope laying around, so maybe we can take some of that.
A little extra.
I have.
You guys have a collective 200 feet of rope to start.
It's true.
Enough.
Yeah, we do.
And also giant 50 pounds of 50 feet of rope is 10 pounds a piece, and
Yeah.
that eventually gets really heavy.
No,
So.
you just keep it.
keep it tucked in your belly button.
Right, exactly. Anything else you guys?
I have some tools I might come collect. If that's all right.
Sure. And Millie over at the general store, she should have just about anything else you could need.
This is the same Millie from the crossroads.
Cutesy, small halfling woman.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's her.
busy. All right.
I think I'm going to get a calligrapher's kit as well, actually. I may have other intentions for it, but...
Valid.
You good? You good?
There's a poisoner's kit.
Yeah, on my way out of town. Yeah, can I get some?
Can I get some poison or things that?
Can I get like a bunch of thieves' tools? Is that
Right.
weird to ask?
Also, don't like.
Can I get a forgery kit?
Don't wait up for us.
Huh, it's like almost like a calligrapher's kit with a different intention.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
Weird.
Poisoner's kit, probably a little harder to come by.
I'm not looking-
Forgery kit, you could probably, like, if you can get a calligrapher's kit, you could probably get
Yeah.
a
I
forgery
just want
kit.
to ask
They
for a
just change
forgery kit.
It's just labeled differently. And it costs like 3 gold more.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's really funny.
We're gonna make our millions with this.
Just rebranding it.
Yeah.
We do love rebranding.
I will get
Forgery and calligrapher combo kit.
I'll get
10
a.
gold more than buying one individually,
That's just
but
that.
cheaper than both, and it's identical.
Yeah, I'll get a herbalism kit.
Alright.
Sounds great.
You can get that. You still. I'd have to look into making potions and stuff.
I don't necessarily need
We
to.
talked about
Because you wouldn't be proficient with it. So that
No,
would-
no, I wouldn't.
we talked about interesting mechanics for that.
That's why I picked it up. Not necessarily to make potions, but just for collecting. It gives you the.
Fair.
It gives
Got
you
the
a.
craft, yo.
Listen, it lets me add my proficiency bonus to check and to any ability checks you make to identify herbs.
Huh.
I didn't realize it like had that. I thought it was just
What
like
kind of herb?
necessary to potentially craft potions.
So proficiency with it is required to create antitoxins and any poisons of healing.
Gotcha.
So the identify part, it just lets you like use your
Identify more
proficiency
easily.
to identify. them.
Okay, cool.
I'm not proficient with it. There's no
Right.
there would be no reason for me to be.
Alright.
All right.
I think I'm ready to go.
Did you grab anything?
I sent you a message.
Oh.
I'd follow her back and pick up some stuff.
Also, can we have 1 bottle of whiskey for the road?
I'd rather. Caleb's holding something.
Oh, it's the message you sent to Kevin that he's holding.
I'd like a car.
You.
I would collect various resources.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I'll pick up a Glock.
A Glock.
I'd like a Beretta, please.
A Glock.
I want a 3D
940.
printer and I print out various shapes until
like
I
an
can make it
antimatter rifle.
Yeah.
Do you have any grenades?
Some piece of the gun. Out of the gun.
But yeah. Sorry, somebody said something right when I was.
Yeah, AR
I would like
are
whiskey.
refusing that.
What?
Whiskey.
Whiskey, yes. You are given a bottle for the road
Is it nice?
on the house from Millie.
And then
Is it pretty good?
It's not bad.
Not bad whiskey.
how many days of rations would they have given us?
Like 50?
Damn.
I mean, I'd imagine they'd probably reasonably replenish you to like, so the trip over to Iridor from here, what's normal like overland travel speed?
It's 12 miles per day, I believe.
Says 24 miles per day.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
There's a mole.
Maybe that's 16 hours of travel versus 8.
So-
24 might be it.
24 is normal speed. according to the sheet.
24, yeah, 24. If we're like just sort of like on a road going straight, is like
That makes sense.
it's a
And that's
like
normal pace.
6 hours.
If you're
8 hours
you're
of
going
travel.
fast,
'Cause if
you
it's
could do
20
30
minute
miles
mile
in a day.
walking,
Yeah, we would
that's like 480 minutes, which is 8 hours.
Yeah,
I say this
3
as-
miles per hour.
as I say this as literally having like on the way here listened to the part of the book where it talks about an army's marching speed and how they're going 24 hours a day, but that's a forced march and not sustainable, but they're in like it's a whole army moving that fast. So I think like a small group like us probably could.
Yeah. A dozen days rations should be plenty for the trip to Iridor.
How many days is it, Terrador? On average.
Less than a dozen. Still working out that final scale. Closer to 10 days.
Sweet.
Hey man, anything can happen along the way. You know, maybe we just went a little slower and it took us 12 days.
Maybe we end up.
You tell us whatever you want, and then tell us whatever you want next week.
Maybe we end up in some ruins in Sturdivant. Who knows?
About 10 days.
All right, let's walk east. Or let's go west immediately. Just walk directly east into this further into
We
the
go
strip.
west. We stumble upon a railroad, and we suddenly end up in these ruins.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, you each in turn, make your way to the general store, possibly swinging up by the fort if it's something that they don't have at the general store. You get your rations resupplied,
I'm gonna
and
that thing
you
I
receive the IOU writs,
Oh.
and
I'm gonna check those.
Are those sealed?
are they sealed?
The writs?
I kind of just imagined she was just going to put them in the same like scroll case thing with the actual message.
I mean,
Is
they would
that
be
sealed?
accessible, right? So that we can use them.
We're going to use them at Iridor, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are like, they're just pieces of paper.
Yes.
Are two of us
Yes.
very okay? Yeah.
I
Okay.
know what they're going for. I don't know, Kevin, if you picked it up.
I think I got it.
He gets it. He
Yeah.
gets it. He gets it.
Sweet. They are accessible to us. It's fine.
It's great. It's
Uh,
excellent, is what it
It
is.
is excellent. I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
Don't be rude to your heroes.
I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick.
Can I do that thing I mentioned?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. I just assumed that
While he was out.
whilst everybody was erranding.
And before
Yeah, us getting in the
before we leave, I won't be sneaky about my thing. Is before we leave and everybody.
Do it. Be sneaky.
Yeah, I'm being sneaky. I'm doing it where none of you guys can hear me, but
He brushes his teeth.
but where people can hear me. I brush my teeth. But anyway, while everybody's out and about, I'll take a moment at one point to stop back in at the crossroads, and whether it's Millie there.
Millie doesn't work there. Millie was just there last night. It's Rorik's place. Millie runs the general store. That's
Gotcha.
just a different
Oh.
building.
So
And she
then,
was helping out, right?
She just showed up there after the commotion, like a bunch of other people.
She's
Didn't she say that we could
Yes.
have food and drinks? And
it was
stuff?
on
She
her.
said it was
She
on
said
her.
it was
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'll stop by to Rorik and probably tell her at some point, and stop by at hers as well when people aren't there and mention.
something.
Well, if he's there, it's fine. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I'll just be like, quick favor, if you don't mind. Since we're going to be heading out to Iridor and delivering this, I would really appreciate it if somebody comes here asking where I might be. Tell them I went towards what would be east from here.
The ruins.
Into the Strinifel.
Yeah. What's south?
The strip.
What else is-
Any direction that's not
What's
obviously
Strata?
The only place to go from here is your door.
Right.
Is this the fact?
Yes. You went back to where.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
He said
further
crossroads.
south, there's the Salt Marsh. There's Raven Hollow.
That's fine.
Ravenhollow.
Tell them I
Port
went to
Saphir,
Raven. That's fine. Tell them I went to Raven Hollow, and I was headed for Port Saphir.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Anything else before you guys head out?
No, I'm good. Did you want to check out the gate at all? Just I think they probably done their own investigating.
Gate.
I'm kind of inclined to let them figure it out themselves.
I imagine that the wizard just killed them and then opened up the gate. See, it's a very powerful. Like he killed a bunch of people. I imagine he could just sort of turn the crank with magic.
He literally teleported, so yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm good with that. Nothing else from me.
All right. Cool. So you have your writs. You have the official communique to deliver, and you've gotten your supplies for the trip. So with that, if there's nothing else, then you guys probably closer to midday, but head up towards the west gate, which is sort of the second one on that side.
The one we were running through. We were trying
Yeah, it would have been. It is not the gate they entered through, but it's sort of just closest to the road to the west.
Like the road music.
Sometimes subtlety is better play than boisterousness.
Who came up with that one?
My father.
Rorik and Millie, as you guys head out of town, are both just very appreciative, and even some of the, just random people living in the town sort of see you and thank you, right? It's such a small town. News travels like bad gas, as they say. But they open the gate for you to head out. And you find yourselves on the road, headed west.
On the road again?
See you, Shrek.
It feels like just yesterday that we were on the road.
I sigh.
Oh, if you guys wanted to chill for a day, you
No,
could.
Oh,
I'm
I
purely-
do not want to chill.
Purely
for a day.
making a joke to Ralos. No,
We might make some good distance today.
I think we will.
One night at a inn is refreshing enough.
For sure. Definitely beats sleeping on the ground. It's nice, but under the stars always has its charm.
Charm.
It rains a lot here, right? Is it very cloudy most of the time?
It's very cloudy here. Here, yes.
Especially
yes.
because we're like in the mist, right?
Yeah.
You're not in the mists currently.
Beautiful blue sky.
The stars, they're so charming. It's just gray, just absolute
What's
gray.
that movie, The Mist, I
Yeah,
think?
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
literally just fog everywhere, and you're just like, yeah, it's
so-
so beautiful out here.
I'll look up. I'm sure that after some time it will be nice to sleep under the stars.
We can just hope.
No, I don't think we need to hope. I think at some point we can safely say we'll be under the stars.
You know what? I think that's a correct statement. At some point.
Is it raining today?
It's like a light drizzle. It's that Seattle perpetual mist kind of
I'm the
rain.
prophet.
You get to use that today.
Important.
4.
Real high's good, real low's good.
Next time he was performance.
That was a
Performance.
Not really.
Joke.
Yeah, because he
I was
said it
like-
was going to rain, and it's raining.
I called it.
It's like he's a divination wizard.
I see.
It's true.
It's fine.
Have any of you been to Iridor before?
No,
Well, I should have been more.
you asked.
Have either of you been to Iridor before? Have I been to Iridor before?
There's a good chance
I just should I figure that out.
You absolutely have. That is where
Yeah.
the crop, the harvest gets taken every year.
Mhm.
You have before in your life, but not since you left.
Yeah.
You've been through briefly.
Okay.
In the couple of years.
Okay.
And no.
I may have read about it.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It is sort of just known as this sort of gateway city, right between the
It's like a trade hub, basically.
right, and it sort of lies between two mountain ranges,
All cities,
and so it's this major city that separates the coast and all the port cities from all the interior of the continent.
How big is it? Bridget Uckle.
I have this information.
Approximately.
And I knew that, which is why. I asked.
So Darkhold's like total population, including all the soldiers that are housed there. Well, it's a little lower after last night, but normally it's like right.
Someone's outside of judgment population sign.
This is an absolute savage.
Darkhold has about like 850 people. A little closer to 1,000 yesterday. Now not so much.
Oh my gosh.
Iridor has a population ballpark of about 200,000 people. So it is like one of the two most major cities in the western side of Tilira.
I've probably been there for longer than just a couple of days. But
Right, you didn't necessarily just pass through. You've been there for some amount of time.
Alright, gateway to coast. Whatever, I'm just gonna keep writing Iridor of the Night. It's what I'm doing naturally, and then I keep correcting it, and now I'm tired of correcting it, so it's gonna be wrongly written in my book forever.
Like, as long as you can read it, that doesn't
and
matter.
there were 200,000 people that went after the zombie attack.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
There were 200,000 there, but now how many are there after the zombie attack?
Still 200,000, just 75,000 are zombies.
200,00010 because, like 10 of them had babies.
Yes.
And in fact, those people are asking who's got there.
But like 15 of them.
We're not there yet.
Why not? We'll get there.
Okay.
We're not there yet, though.
Alright.
We might never get
We
there.
are on the road.
On the Road. Well,
Just
conveniently,
travel
this is my
on foot
road
off the
ambience soundtrack.
Or
Wait, sorry, what? Planned what?
no, you planned the music to be more.
I was making a stupid joke, ignore me.
Oh, okay. So, you're on the road. It is soggy. It is foggy, cloudy, tough to see. You can tell by how bright it is that, clearly the sun is plenty high in the sky. But, that doesn't stop it from being just extremely gray. But you trudge out along the currently rather muddy road. Somebody go ahead and roll a d20 for me
Oh boy.
for this first
Yeah, you wanna
day's
roll.
travel.
We should each do this in order as we do it.
We'll do the one that's
Yeah,
kind
so
of
just
like the start,
cycle
though,
through.
where
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
4.
Perfect.
4. Okay.
It was predicted 4.
Bro!
Uh,
It's too powerful.
so
Second class.
this first day,
Sure, there must be stuff.
you guys walk for a good 8 hours. The road continues onward. It continues to be muddy. The fog lessens a little bit over the course of the day. But by the time you reach the evening, it is, it's getting darker. The sun is obviously setting. But your 8 hours of travel passes uneventfully.
Good roll. It's what we think.
Right.
It could be tonight that
The
we're
lich just scried on us, don't worry.
That was your saving throw.
Remember those people that killed 6 or 7 of my chump blockers?
Right.
He's right.
Let's get them.
Or he scried us, determined we weren't worth the effort, and then just ignored us.
Oh, they're leaving. It's all good.
Anybody feel like they can find us a good place to set up camp for the night?
Have you been
Yes.
doing that for us? Yeah, I'll say I would look. I would really just look to current.
Maybe. Get whole. 18.
18. Yeah. You know, as the sun starts to set, you start being on the lookout for a hill or some slightly higher ground that might be a little drier. And you find.
Hole and I burrow into it. And I'm like, fun. Everyone? No.
Are we not? You guys not cool with this? Okay.
That's what warm in here.
No, so you spot basically a hill not too far off of the road. What? No, not a hill giant. No, just a hill. Just a regular hill. And, you know, just, you know, it's drier. It's enough off the road that in the dark, you know, individuals aren't likely to accidentally pass over you here. And yeah, it seems like a pretty decent spot to camp for the night. All right.
So we do.
You guys, do you light a fire?
Is there, important question,
Mhm.
that maybe I don't know the answer to, but I've read books. Is there wood that burns less smoky than other wood?
Dry wood.
Uh,
I know, but legitimately, that's
Yeah.
like an actual thing.
No,
Like,
you're
it's-
right. You're right.
Yes.
There's not much in the way of wood around here. It's still very plainsy and hilly.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't come across a forested area since leaving Darkhold yet.
Is it cold?
It's that like kind of moderate. It'll be chilly overnight because it's that like spring cold.
And we're probably damp. That doesn't help.
I prestidigitation to make people not damp at least before bed.
As you start, I do it to myself. Save me the trouble.
I'll take a try, thank you.
Try me, please.
So you can't do that either.
No, but just make things dry.
Yeah.
Or you can do magic.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, but I
do?
can't. It's just something we have in common.
No. Yeah, we
Dry out.
Specific. I don't think
Neither
it's
of us can
specifically
do that.
mentioned,
Yeah,
but
it's true.
It's allowed.
it seems like a not
So I think the
unreasonable
entire
use
8
of
hours
the
have been like,
random
play this
minor magic
no.
utility spell.
Very fair. Okay.
You're just like, oh, you walk on 2 feet
I
too.
can't think of a way that's
Oh,
like
but
I mean, if you can clean or soil an object,
right. Yeah, like
Probably.
I you know, I can't think of a reason that it would be mechanically broken for you to be like, I'm going to use magic to dry you off.
yeah, that would be any more
Just wait.
broken.
if you can clean an
evaporated.
object,
Yeah.
like, you know, if it was.
I'm covered in
blood on
pee.
me-
Okay, clean. I'm covered in water.
No,
We've
sorry.
hit the limits of my
Also,
magic.
purify the pee that's on you.
There we
I can pee on you first,
You
and
can
then
also
get rid of all of it.
You can also chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living
can
material for
flavor
an
stuff?
hour. Yeah.
Bro, wizards.
Not
should
even
be
just water,
cooks.
just like.
What is going on?
Anything.
Some of them
I can
are.
flavor a piece of dirt.
It's true.
For an
Holy
hour.
cow! I've been playing D&D
Like-
wrong for years.
That sounds like a horrible joke you could play on someone.
True.
Just
Oh.
prestidigitate the food in their mouth.
No, it's
Yeah.
What's
Oh.
Here, it's a forbidden Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
Is this cat shit? I don't know, but it tastes delicious.
It's like those Febreze commercials. Blindfold them as the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like eating dirt.
Yeah. So go ahead and somebody give me another D20 roll for the night.
Who's watching?
Here, get it.
Oh, okay. Going clockwise.
Yep.
Perception?
No,
just
Just a
roll.
D20.
12.
12. All right.
Good roll. Good roll.
We need a
good
20
roll.
next.
It's multiple 3 so far. This is good for
I
us.
got it.
Oh, wait, it is.
Yep, I figured out a complex mathematical formula to determine how we're going to have encounters.
We need a 20
We
next.
need the prime roots of each die roll. That's what we need to get to.
So you go to sleep. Are you setting up watches for the night?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go in pairs.
2 and 2, or
2 and 2.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Look at what you've done.
Do you
You
want-
scared off who?
We just found out that neither of us can cast
From a
prestidigitation.
story building
We're
perspective,
bonding
I've
over that.
already talked to Fabian, so I thought I'd talk to Ralph.
I'm not particular either.
I am interested in your story as well.
I'm
All right,
interested
Careful,
in
he
everyone's
might
story.
try to hit on you.
Thank you for the
As a
warning.
friend.
With
Well, they're together.
Respectfully,
Like,
yeah.
together.
Respectfully, I'd really love to hear your story.
Respectfully. Love that.
Platonically speaking.
All right.
Extremely interested.
All right, who's first watch?
We're doing diagonals, and we are second.
Alright, we're first.
That's earlier, but
Give me perception
Can't we all
checks.
be
First
second?
watch.
Just 4 of us away.
Oh, she's Cocker Spaniel.
18.
It was like the same roll. Not as good as yours, anyways. 14.
18, 14. Okay. Kier and Fabian go to sleep.
Gotta saw those
It's
logs.
just-
Man.
Look, I'm just being my character. I'm a snorer.
It's
That's
what
all I
you
can-
would do.
I don't snore actually. But
That's the real
world.
fantasy, right?
Yeah,
Nobody has
fantasy world, I
allergies.
don't
Everybody
snore.
can breathe.
Yeah,
Yep.
no shot.
Exactly.
My hero can have a lot of flaws. Snoring's not one of them.
No,
No allergies, no snoring.
Yep.
That's it.
It's the real
Sorry.
fantasy.
Anyway.
All right. So, Ralos and Kurin, the two of you are left up to watch. It's quiet.
See anything?
If you guys let your half of the night go in silence, that is fine. We don't have to
Well,
belabor it.
Not quite.
it's too late now.
It's
Words were had.
nothing thus far, at the very least. Are you bored? I'm bored.
No.
Fabian's laughing in his sleep. It's really concerning.
No. I just didn't know if you saw anything. I want to believe we let the rest of our time go with just no words.
That's fine. Yeah.
Perfectly awkward silence. Okay.
I don't
Not
think it's
actually,
awkward.
Not actually awkward.
I think it's
Fair.
very comfy.
I'm just kind of like chill.
It's third person awkward, but yeah, I gotcha.
Mhm.
I gotcha. All right.
I think we're a
Your
little bit on the same page. We're keeping watch.
I'm not trying to advertise my position in the vulnerable darkness.
fair point. Well, to put an end to
That's a
that,
secondary
your watch
conversation.
is done. Comes to a close uneventfully, solidly in the dead of night. But yeah, nothing disturbs you. And
Great.
the two of you close your eyes, and Kier and
I'm
Fabian.
gonna get my bedroll first.
Yeah. Also,
Fair.
get ready and I'll
That's smart.
mention
No
to
one wants to sleep in a damp bedroom.
exactly. I'll say Fabian. Fabian, you were talking in your sleep.
I
I'm
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
You weren't actually speaking in your sleep. You're fine.
It's having the weirdest dream.
Tell him about this.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Second night in a row, I'm going to bed at 2 a.m. probably. Alright, Fabian, it's our turn.
It's, I can only imagine that their conversation was something to be rivaled.
They were very quiet about it, so they didn't wake me up once talking.
I agree. I mean, I usually try not to wake others up when I speak, and Ralos I know has ways of keeping his tones hushed. But I am nonetheless. I can only imagine. We'll have to ask him about it in the morning.
Kurin,
What a weird thing to do. What would you guys talk about last night?
Mind your business.
Any hot goss?
You know, here I do have a question for you. Let's take a look out at the woods before we continue speaking and see if anything's sneaking up on us. But
Let's dramatically search.
There's a werewolf like, oh, you got me!
Found it in order to keep watch. For the next 6 seconds, let us actively look, and then we'll stop. We'll stop paying attention while we're speaking.
That's some straight fantasy guard duty right there.
all right,
You want to look around for a couple minutes and then play cards for the rest of the time? Who's there?
I imagine.
Yeah, give me perception checks.
Not great.
Not great either. 16.
It's all our magic.
That's not great. That's pretty
It's
good.
not- I mean, the roll itself is bad.
9 for me.
14.
9 and
They had-
14.
They had
Okay.
riveting conversation.
I'm about to we're about to light it up with
That's right, me and Jordan are just stat monkeys.
Yeah. Honestly though.
It's true.
Oh yeah, sorry, 14.
The bard with
Cool.
the wisdom over here. What?
Yeah, so they head off to sleep, and it's still quiet. Pitch dark.
No
You hear
moon.
nothing.
Put your pants back on.
Unclear.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah. It's misty here. It's hard to tell.
Very cloudy.
Very cloudy.
Kier, when we were toasting after the fight last night, you mentioned some kind of deity. I think, like let those who fall and what was the name of that again?
That'll be Brehenna.
Rehenna.
Yes.
I heard of that before.
Oh yeah, that is one of the
Prime.
deities of the pantheon in Anterra.
Okay.
That is the
Is there any domain?
Well, one of them is going to strike a chord with some of the table.
Ooh. Is it me?
It's not you.
Rehenna is the goddess of justice and vengeance.
Vengeance!
Well, that's
My boy! It's the reincarnation of Mira!
You know, as far as I can remember, I don't know that I've actually ever met someone who's toasted to her in the same way that you did.
I wouldn't call it a toast so much as it was a piece of scripture. But you could look at it that way, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm mostly unfamiliar with the texts. Have you been in her service long?
For a few years now, yes. Let's see. I left as I said, I'm from the same place as Kurin over here, and I joined I studied under Rehenna for some time, and took upon her ways as mine, and sort of I'm living to see her rights done in the world. Just serve her in every way that I can. And some people choose to do such things by staying in churches and holy places such as that, helping those who come to them. I prefer to travel the lands and find people to help.
Very nice.
I would have liked to have helped the people in Darkhold, but there are times to pick your battles.
Absolutely. You have to know when to stay and try to fix a situation hands-on, and when to leave to maybe find better ways to help them elsewhere.
Exactly.
No, it was beautiful. I was struck by it.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't think of it as beautiful, but that's not a bad thing.
Not at all. It's been fun traveling with you. It's just been Ralos and I for so long, and it's been incredible. But having just a few more companions makes the miles go by faster.
It does make things more interesting, especially you two.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah. How long have you been traveling together?
I think how long? 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
No, not quite that long.
Only a little while.
Several.
More than a month.
A little over a month.
It's quite some time. I've only been traveling from since what's the name of the town?
Muirfield.
Muirfield, which is what, a couple of days maybe? Yeah, not too long. I mean, granted, we sort of knew each other from
Right.
before. We weren't close, but
Familiar.
yes, it was a small enough town that we knew of each other.
certainly.
But
Yeah, and you get to know people quickly traveling.
right, well, there's not much else to do.
Right.
Unless, I don't know about you, but we got ambushed by some goblins on the road. to
Really?
Darkhold. Yeah.
No, the biggest fight we got in was some thieves tried to abscond with our wealth one night, and we quickly dealt with that.
Did any get away?
No.
Glad to hear it.
Violence is not going to be my first choice a lot of the time, but
I feel that there are times where it is justified, and other times when people tend to jump to it too readily.
yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. There are a lot of ways around situations.
Agreed.
We had no choice there, but
Right. I mean, yes, if someone is threatening life, and that is a pretty obvious sign. But there are other times when a less severe punishment can be enacted.
do you mind if I ask you a question about Kurin? I don't know how much you know about her.
You're welcome to ask. I don't necessarily have the answer, or
She's seems to be slightly withholding, maybe not as forthcoming in conversation as you are. Is that a common experience, or am I just?
I wouldn't take it personally. She, from my travels with her, she likes to keep. How should I put it? I feel like, and then granted, I've only known her for a week or so, but she keeps things she keeps things pretty straightforward, and I believed. Do I know you?
Yep.
I'm not sure what I know about her character. I feel like she's been through some things, and she's had not necessarily the easiest life, and so she may have a different perspective on some things. And how do you look?
Like past my 20s, but not.
Okay, I'm about the same.
Yeah.
But she has a different perspective on things than those who haven't seen as much of the world, I think.
Yeah.
And
So you said past your 20s, and I think the two of you landed in different places because I'm pretty sure that you're in your 30s.
Yes.
And you're like just into your 20s, right?
low 20s, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
yeah.
It's just you guys landed like, oh yeah, cool, same. And I'm like, no, I know that's not actually the case.
He looks really bad for his 20s.
That's a rough one. Huh?
That's a
He
shitty
plays
20
it
years.
badly. Fuck.
Right. No, that makes, now that you mentioned, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely have come across those in my life, and I can definitely respect that.
Yeah, she opens up a bit as you.
Sure.
Well, hopefully she opens up.
Right.
It really depends on how.
Yeah.
Well,
Wanted to make sure I hadn't been offensive or anything like that. But
I mean, I didn't hear your conversation this morning, but
honestly,
But you could tell me about it if you
it was
wanted.
one of the more constructive that I think we've had so far.
oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I don't think there's anything you've said that is irreversible as far as damage may have gone.
Well, that's good.
So
It's been a pleasure to, I don't think we've talked much one-on-one so far, but it's been a pleasure to meet you guys so far.
same. It's good to meet people who. I mean, you both of you rose to the call last night. When things went awry,
Yeah,
and I'm happy to see that in people.
absolutely. It can be tough to choose to do the right thing. But hard choices need to be made.
That's been very true. Absolutely. The right choices are definitely not always the easiest ones.
All right. So, you're not sure exactly what time it is, but at a certain point you can tell that the sun begins to rise. And your watch comes to its conclusion without any issues or really so much as a twig snapping nearby. It stays very, very quiet aside from your own conversation. I would say you get the benefits of a long rest, but you're already long rested, so presumably no need. That said, you get another one if you want it.
Woo!
Let's go.
That means it gets an extra
And
charge.
we
back,
level up.
right? So that we just stack
And we level up.
all that RP experience.
Mm-hmm.
Reward.
All right. So, you pack up your bedrolls and everything and head out again in the morning. You know, where you slept was off the main road, but not too far that it's relatively trivial for you to find your way back to it. And yeah, you continue along your way for the day. Somebody give me another D20 roll.
20.
20. Big 20.
20.
14.
Oh,
Or dead.
Sorry.
It's over. It's not power 4.
Prime
Oh.
roots. What's prime root? 14. 2 times 7. 2 and 7.
2 and 7. Yeah.
Give me a second there. I thought that was going to be more complicated.
Okay. So, this day again passes uneventfully. You're finally getting out of the fog at this point. You've basically reached. By the end of the day, you can kind of see the sun setting, and you can see the actual sky somewhat clearly for the first time in a number of days. I think you are up for a D20 roll, sir.
Who's next?
Oh wait.
We'll go clockwise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed that it went Lenny of that, but sure.
8.
we're bringing it back.
8.
Let's pull 4. We're good.
All right. Yeah. At this point, you know, the hills are still what?
Rocks falling down.
At this point, the hills start to give way a little bit as you get a little closer to, you know, some forested area. It's not very dense. Sort of, you just reach near the edge of it, and Kurant, give me another survival check.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah, you know, upon seeing the edge of the forest as the sun's going down, you know, you basically go off the beaten path just enough and basically camp just on the edge of the woods. Due to the bit of a tree cover, it would probably be safe enough to make a fire, at least to cover and at least have the visibility of it not obvious from the road.
Sure.
If you are so inclined.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Cool. Awesome. And who's doing watches tonight?
Do you want to switch it up or keep it the same?
Doesn't make a difference to me.
How did you enjoy your conversation last night?
It was great.
Would you like to continue it?
Sure.
All right. We'll keep it the same.
All right.
Did you see anything? Nope.
Cool.
All right. Cool. So yeah, give me some perception checks.
12.
1. It's a 3.
Beautiful. All right.
I look exceptionally bored tonight, but I still don't actually see anything interesting.
That tree looks like a goat.
I like lean. I lean a little bit to get a different angle. I suppose it does.
Like a pygmy goat.
Hmm.
Kind of fat. You and Fabian.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick him up, or did he pick you up?
Yes.
Very. I would say it was more of a mutual crossing of paths. quite fortuitous for both of us.
I see.
I happen to have found myself in need of a traveling companion, and he was in the same sort of scenario as me.
What? What brought you so far south?
I am, as I mentioned, looking more so to try and visit places I haven't been, and also learn a little bit. I'm a bit of a all-around student, you could say. I find a lot can be learned from being at the different places that you've read about, rather than, simply taking other people's word for it. Also, part of why I find it much more rewarding to speak with the more interesting people in the room rather than those who are going through the motions. Much like that gnome at the bar. Not much to be gained in conversation with somebody who is clearly not going to provide it, we'll say.
Well, according to that ring, it seemed like he had more knowledge than he let on. But a drunk wizard might not be at his finest.
Based on the impression Anya had of him, I would say that his finest was not much better than that. Bit of a disgrace to that ring. I've met another.
Have you? Is it, you know of some magics,
A
right?
bit incomplete.
Is it, are you interested in going to
That's true. In the morning, when you prepare spell, he would have seen that.
Well,
at some
and he's
point.
been casting some spells.
Right, and just he busts out a spell book in the morning to prepare things.
Yeah, I just said I was incomplete. He said you work with. Yeah. Not quite completed on my learning in the arcane, but I dabble.
Are you interested in going to this academy?
No.
Didn't get a great impression from the person,
No.
the other person you met.
Not quite. I actually got quite. I would say, the highest impression of the person who bore a similar sigil. But it would not be necessary, as I have no desire to go there.
See?
Although, I suppose, depending on the time of year, perhaps it would be good to stop by.
Time of year.
I don't know when he'd be around there or not.
Do you want to see him again?
Of course.
Who is it?
A friend.
See?
More of a friend than, I would say, to give you a bit more of a friend than Fabian, but less of a friend than a family member.
I'll glance over to Fabian to see if he's awake or not.
Were there
Shattered.
As
Shattered.
you glance over, Ivy, that's not a slight to Fabian. That's a testament toward this individual, and also part of my disdain towards someone who would poorly represent something that he's a part of.
Let me see.
Just taking my notebook out.
Supposed to be asleep.
You mentioned
You probably would be asleep now.
Yeah.
you've been to Iridor for your harvest, but what brings you there this time around?
Hoping to find someone. Just a bit to do. Hoping to find someone. Not in, likely not in Eridor, but further out to the coast.
Hopefully someone not in trouble.
Ah,
At least not dire.
well. Someone that needs my help.
Can you afford the time to make a leisure trip to them?
A few more days won't do much harm. But I do need to be over there.
Family?
Yeah.
That I can understand. Family must, above all else, watch out for each other.
Indeed. And after that, I just wouldn't say anything.
I also would not press more.
All right. Kier and Fabian. At the conclusion of first watch, seems nothing has happened. Go ahead and give me your perception checks for second watch.
21. Ooh, not beating that.
Nice.
Actually, I tied it.
Oh,
21's all
Oh,
around.
man. I'm just like freaking chilling. These two are like, nothing. Squirrel! Don't you step on that
Leaf, dude, we got it.
I just showed a cockroach in Kruin's suitcase. Or a bag, whatever.
It'll be fine. Let's dispose of
My
it.
suitcase.
Well, cool business,
It's got 4 wheels to drag over the mud.
He's got a bridge and then he's got like a roller behind. He's like, you gotta make
A suit and
it.
bags over his
What's
shoulder.
worse? What's worse? I meant to say bedroll. I don't know how I got a suitcase.
Number of syllables?
Amazing.
Does
Yeah,
the night,
I guess.
Does the night seem quiet?
The night mostly seems quiet.
Those damn
Uh,
neighbors. Yeah!
Throughout
Those
a
frat
decent
boys.
amount of your watch, you hear just
Kicking.
distant howls.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of that.
No, but unfortunately, I mean, we've dealt with
Werewolf.
bigger things. than
Why, Wolf?
True. What do you feel about... How far away do they sound? Miles or...
5 feet, 10 feet.
They don't sound close. It does sound like a distant echo of a howl. Somewhere in the
I
woods, you're not exactly certain.
Could set up some noise traps to get close, but...
We could, but I don't know, we're in a pretty good spot here. I think that if anything sneaks up, we'll probably see.
I feel like, yeah, it's true. I feel like out of 20 campsites, this is the best one to get down.
The top 50%. And trust me, I've been to a lot of campsites, so I can say it with confidence.
A hole opens up underneath you, and you are all swallowed into the Underdark.
No, just
I'm more comfortable. That's fine.
You wake up in a drow cell.
Oh, no.
I kill all the drow.
Yeah,
Where's the spider? I stomp on the spider.
Who did that? It was me.
Hellish rebuke me. I dare you.
No, it's honestly the sounds of the night are comforting.
Interesting. No, I sound like your friend.
He has that effect on people.
So, I assume, I don't see many tieflings in these parts, or any parts, really.
They're not uncommon.
They're not that uncommon.
No, I mean, like, a little less common than, no more rare than a Harengon.
Okay.
Harengon. I'll get it eventually.
There's, we live in.
Here we go.
Here, God.
There are tieflings in a couple places, but definitely like pockets of spots. But
Pocket tieflings.
there are. I grew up along the coast.
Sort of where we're heading, or a different part of it?
I think a different part.
All right.
I'm not sure where we're headed after Iridor, but
We will see where we end up. It's interesting that humans, half elves, those sorts of races tend to blend in. Kurin and yourself tend to stand out a bit more.
yeah, no, it's a blessing and a curse for sure. Honestly, I think that was what led to my introduction to Fabian, standing out from a crowd.
I do think if it was between you, me, and Kurin, I would be the least interesting option. So,
Well, I only on first glance, maybe.
well, judging a book by its cover and all that.
Right. But books do have covers for a reason, so.
Yes, to protect them from dirt.
Right.
To hold the binding and keep the pages together.
Yeah,
Did you grow up in Deerfield?
yeah, I did. I hadn't been there in a few years until we visited to, and ran into Corin. Did I say their name right, by the way?
Corin? Yeah.
Okay, good. Make sure I'm not repeating
More
saying it
coon.
wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up there.
Very nice.
Small town, people obsessed with rumors and the latest this and that. Unlike Darkhold, which probably has some of that going on, but it's more they have other concerns. Muirfield was fairly laid back. All things considered.
Very nice. It sounds like a great place to grow up. Safe.
Usually, for most people, people can be unkind at times. But
Yeah. I think I get the sense of what you mean. And trust me, people turning out to be less than you'd hoped for, I get them.
happens too often.
Yeah. But thankfully, that certainly won't happen with our group.
It doesn't seem like it, but there's plenty of time to prove me wrong.
It's true. I just have a feeling.
Like right now, Stan.
Now.
Second check.
Thank you for.
Get him. There's a hook horror down here. We should go check it out. I've seen this one before.
Oh man.
What if we send some of us down one tunnel and some of us down
I
the
don't
other
know what
tunnel?
happened to Kier Salem.
It's weird. Dude.
Why are you covered in red paint?
No idea. No, this has been. It's nice having someone that can. Ralos and I have not always had the best luck at finding campsites. I'm not particularly great at it myself, and Ralos did not grow up camping. So.
That somehow does not surprise me.
Yeah.
I can't say that. Well, I haven't learned much. I have been trying to learn from Corin's example. So, I was thinking about helping her find, a good campsite for tonight, but she just nailed it right away. I didn't even get to look.
Right over there.
It was just right there.
I mean, again, I think 19 times out of 20, I'd find a worse one.
I would agree.
I bet 20 times out of 20.
Probably, yeah. I don't even know.
Likely.
This was behind several trees. We were just pushing through it. And,
Yeah.
It's really more down to instinct than anything.
Exactly. No, I'm looking forward to. It's been a while since I've been back to Iridor.
I'm saying I haven't been here in a few years, probably nearly a year, something like that. See if it's a big place.
Well, travels have been, as long as these howls aren't getting any closer. Travels have been safe so far. It's a lot to be thankful for in 2 days.
It is. Does it sound like how it's coming from behind us on the road or forward?
Further into the woods. So deeper into the woods, which effectively would be further down the road, I guess, because you're on the eastern side of whatever this little forest is.
Okay. At least they're not trailing us by the sounds of it. They haven't picked up our trail, in theory. Hopefully our luck holds.
Well, got a good feeling about it.
I'm sure we could handle some wolves
Yeah.
if what came to it.
I would you know what? If we can't handle the wolves, I don't think we deserve to handle much else.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. We do not need to write
Stranger
traveling on the road
catastrophes
just
have
for us.
happened.
Kevin's like, yeah. How about 30 wolves?
Yeah, and they're
Exactly.
dire.
I mean, this, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been another good night.
It has.
And the sun rises.
Is that the end of day 5?
No, day 3.
Day 3?
Oh,
we rolled a
Three
lot of
since we've been together.
D20s.
We did.
It would
We
be
Well, we-
2 per day.
2 per day.
Day
Oh,
and night.
2 per day. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Give me your roll for
It's
the
me.
next day.
Or-
Give me your Rolos.
Oh
5.
gosh, dude,
Five.
that's a
Last one was
prime
4.
number.
Oh, now we're doomed.
It's over.
I've hit it. I finally. It's also our first odd number.
It is.
Holy cow!
So, as you begin your third day of travel towards Iridor, let's go ahead and call it a night, and we'll be back to this in a couple more weeks
2 more.
because I'm out next week. Just gotta go in the Flesh and Blood Pro Tour. That'd be cool.
Easy.
That'd be worth a missed D&D session for sure.
Make sure
Take
to
it.
plug Rotom Initiative while you're there. you
For
know.
sure.
Just have the sticker
I
on.
actually do. I should wear my shirt. I really should.
Gym nights
Have a
and
sticker
CG.
on something.
On my face.
Just accidentally have cards everywhere. Just
Get-
oops, they drop that.
Get
Oh,
card
no.
sleeves that just have the logo on the back.
That would actually.
You could do that. You can get custom art sleeves. That'd be sweet. Mm-hmm. All right, friends.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for hanging out. We will venture further into Anterra again in 2 more weeks. Session 3.
What'd you roll?